And I'll sign it and date it.
Yes, I figured. Oh, go back to the meeting that we actually did it, put that date on
Yeah.
it. But I don't know what that was.
Okay, 7:30, February 13th, 2024. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Glad to see you here. Gilman.
Here.
Dudek.
Here.
Christie here. Duncan.
Here.
Berenger.
Here.
Okay. So first, I'd like to have Mr. David Rushing talk, if you don't mind, and then we'll take comments from the.
I talked with Bruce, we talk often, like I talked to Al Titus and Joe Stevens, the various supervisors of what's going on in each community, but he did talk to me about broadband that's happening in potentially in Columbus Township. This has been addressed at the county board. Steve Smasko, myself, and Joy Torello pushed really hard to get part of we had $16.7 million left of our ARPA funds to try to get some additional monies out in the rural areas to assist with the broadband. We didn't have the votes, so we did actually get somebody that could facilitate that, but that got put on table. Now it's taken off the agenda. So there's going to be no money from the county as far as assisting communities within St. Clair County, the 23 townships in regards to broadband. Mercury did, and I left Scott 8 calls. I also sent an email talking to Bruce. I tried to have a Mercury representative here tonight so they could give you specifics in regards to what Mercury is going to be potentially providing. They got the contract, and it was a multi-million-dollar contract. They're out of Kansas, and they got the contract for St. Clair County. It went to the lowest bidder, and they are regulated by the federal government. They have to have a 6-year window where they have to provide documentation, and they are then very friendly with the county. They're going to give us the information also. They don't have to, but they will be facilitating it with the federal government to get reports that they are actually providing broadband service out in the rural area for St. Clair County. So they have the federal contract, which went through with the House, the Senate, part of that. They got the contract for St. Clair County. When they gave their presentation at the county, they said they have 83 towers. And of course I corrected them. And I said, no, you have 0 towers. You're going to be using the 83 towers within St. Clair County. That's part of Michigan state law that the existing towers, anybody can piggyback on those towers. So whether it's Verizon, AT&T, whatever service you're currently using, everybody's allowed to use that. They are going to be putting potentially about a half a mile of fiber optics in Kimball Township. Other than that, pretty much it's going to be line of sight, same thing as you got now. So they're going to duplicate what AT&T has, like I said earlier, and Verizon. But as far as any money's coming from the county, and I'm going to be giving you a report on the roads that there's no money at the county to be used. So I'll give you a breakdown of the ARPA funds, what's left once it gets to the roads. But if anybody has any questions.
What do you mean line of sight?
Line of
You know, that,
sight.
like, yeah, what do you mean for
It's
that?
not gonna be hardwired, so
Okay.
it'll be off the tower, they're gonna be sending their signals and however you can pick it up. If you're down in the valley, you're not gonna get as good a signal as somebody up on a hill.
Is that, and that's fiber optics too?
No, fiber.
I was gonna say, I thought fiber optics is through though,
Fiber
yeah.
optics goes under the ground.
Oh, really? So they're not doing that,
Right on the
okay.
railroad tracks, which they started installing back a long time ago when I was on the railroad. I left the railroad in '89, but that, of course, they potentially can tie into it, but I doubt that the railroad would allow them to tie into that. But that's on their right of way, so potentially it could. But then, from my understanding, and my figures might be slightly off, but the estimated cost for any square mile within a rural township would be $5 million for the fiber optics to be directly given to each house. And that's to run it along every road, and it's very expensive, so you're not going to be able to tax your residents, you're not going to be able to get out of your budget from Columbus, and it's just too expensive to put out in the rural area. brought up Starlinks. My son has got, our youngest son has it in Riley Township. And he's got 2 licenses with Starlink, and he says it's fantastic, but that currently is pretty hard to get a hold of. I use AT&T and I'm out in Riley Township on Masters Road, and my AT&T works very good where I'm at. Prior to, I had Sprint and it was hit and miss, so AT&T for where I'm at is better. Verizon might be better here, I don't know, whatever everybody's using out here. So if there's any questions with broadband?
There's been talk around that people think that Columbus Township got a pile of money that they didn't spend on broadband, but I just want to say that didn't happen.
Yeah, that, we talked about that. There is no money that Columbus got specifically for broadband. You know, if you have a specific, you have special assessment millages, I imagine, and those monies have to be used for that particular purpose. And Riley doesn't have any money. Ira doesn't have any. They do have better broadband down there because they're close to Risa, and there is actually some fiber optics in Ira Township. So depending where you're at in Ira, but you start getting out this way, you're not going to get the same as what you have in the city. If I can, first give everybody a copy.
Sure.
This is your board. I'll give you a breakdown. Whoops. Went over 2 pages.
I would just like to add, there are grants out there available for broadband, but it's the IT companies that get money, not the townships. The providers, the IT providers are the ones that apply for those grants and get that money.
Oh,
to
that's it?
replace
Oh.
the fiber optics.
I'm not sure why then.
I think that's the
Oh,
second
my
page.
printer.
The
my-
second page is just,
That's just $1 million.
No, the second page is what
Oh,
we're,
just the.
oh, you're getting this
nothing.
page. Yeah, I got everything. Thanks, I got everything.
Yeah, my printer didn't print it quite right.
There you go. I got a couple. There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
There's 2 more. Should be there.
That's-
And when our discussions with the county ARPA funds, there was 16.7 million left. And back in November, Steve Smasko, myself, and Joy pushed pretty hard because we weren't going to get any funding for broadband. It was pretty hard for that. Folks weren't there to get, you know, a majority to dedicate millions throughout this area. What we did do out of the 16.7 million is give 1 million for every commissioner. And I'm doing the same thing with this million, what I did with the $500,000. And you see at the bottom, there's $43.71 per each resident. There's a total population in District 6 of 22,878. When you break that down, Columbus Township will be getting $179,735.52. You're not getting that money directly. This time you guys don't have to report anything. What Bill Hazelton is going to be doing, and he's already got a partial list of potential projects that will fall within the tighter ARPA rules, and it'll be the Clean Water Act. So any ditching, culverts, he'll be getting with you. It's only a partial list that he's provided me so far. Everything has to be allocated by the end of 2024. So once you go to the township meeting, that they're gonna have with all the townships, I think District 6 is gonna be much better off than the rest of it. No other county commissioner is doing what I do. I think this is the fairest way to do it. Everybody pays their taxes. So everybody within District 6 by population, every township will get $43.71 per person. And if it ends up being a few $1,000s more or a few $1,000s less, if you complain to me, I'll be very forceful about it because that's a lot of money. And what that's going to be doing is these are the projects that the townships do an equal match with the road commission. So over the next 2 years, your match projects, you already got 179,000 covered. So that frees up whatever you potentially were going to do, any culverts or ditching, anything that could fall within the Clean Water Act, being compliant with ARPA. That's your money to do what you want with. If you want to put more stone, if you want to throw another 100,000 in stone, or whatever you do, culverts, additional projects. But Bill Hazelton, you know, this is really going to help District 6. So it's gonna be an additional $1 million within District 6 that's gonna be set. So that was $7 million. That leaves a balance of about 9 million. And we're moving the health department from the old building on 24th Street. That's gonna be closing. They're gonna be moving into the county building. The state of Michigan leased the south end of our building. And they are moving out. They only have 5 employees in there anyways. And it's a very large facility. Rather than build a $40 to $50 million new facility for the county health department, they're gonna be moving in our building. It's gonna cost us about $6 million to retrofit, if that's the right wording, but do some work that needs to be done and get them moved. After that, their property over there, it'll be put up for sale and the monies will be collected from that, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do with the monies from there. Guess that's a pretty good rundown of what doing for you.
Any questions? Comments? Anybody? Well, thank you so much, Dave.
And always, anybody can call me at any time. I return every single phone call, except the one that threatened my wife and me with Dr. Merkin. Huh?
Retrofit for $6 million for 5 people.
Well, that's currently there's 5 Michigan State employees in the south end of the building. It's a fairly large building. It's over 50,000 square feet. We'll be moving hundreds of employees over there. At the county health department. If you've been down to 24th Street, that's the south end of Port Huron, South Park, is where it's at. That's gonna be closed and we're gonna be moving them into the county building right downtown.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, comments from the community for items not on the agenda. First. Karen, and I can't read your last name. Step up.
Even though I'm a teacher, it's my first public board meeting I've ever been to, so bear with me. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the board for everything you do, and also thanks to Bruce and Angie for answering my questions. I live at 2152 Arlington Road, just down the street. And the reason I come before you today is you're a incompetent employee named Tracy. I have had nothing but, he is so rude and disrespectful. I've never been talked to. I'm a teacher in a very Harvard school district down in the city of Warren, and I've never been talked to with such disrespect that Tracy talked to me. Your website's down, as we all know. I called Bruce and had a little complaint. Tracy told me to go take pictures of all the complaints. Isn't that his job? Isn't that what you paid him for? So why am I taking pictures, something that you're paying him for? And 4 years ago, I took pictures and sent them to him, and he retaliated on me. Because he showed the neighbor those pictures. So here I am today again, and now I've talked to Andy this morning, and I'm gonna see what my retaliation is now that I'm back here again today. So my complaint is the guy behind me owns 7 acres and he has about 25 cows. He leases the 10 acres next to me. The first 5 acres, you can have 2 cows, correct? Every additional acre, you can have a cow, correct? So we're up to 4 cows. He has 7 acres, he has 10 acres behind me. Only 6 and 7 of them are fenced in, so now we're up to what, about 10 to 11 cows? There's about 25 cows back there. I don't care you have cows. But when you are coming and spreading all that manure next to me, and I'm gonna be drinking cow manure soon from my well, I have a problem with it. My well is not far from there. So then Tracy tells me, well, he runs 6 acres across Arlington Road. So he has 23 acres, so now he can have as many cows as he wants. So what you're saying, so I explained to Tracy, I said to Tracy, so you're telling me I can have 5 acres on Crawford, 5 on Bauman, 5 on Miskill, and 5 on Arlington. I have 20 acres total, so I'm allowed 100 cows, and he said, yep. So that's why I'm here. Because he does nothing for this county, that's anything worthwhile, other than tell me to never call Bruce and never call up to this township office. So, I have given you a picture, there's cows in the picture. He called me on a Saturday morning, And he told me, hey, I just was there, I saw not one animal. I literally walked to the back of the property and took pictures with my own camera, but I could take pictures with my own camera? No, that's Tracy's job. I don't get paid. I pay you. I'm gonna pay you my taxes tonight, better do tomorrow. You guys pay him for harassing your residents, if you want to say it like that. Also, he's adding on to his pole barn. Tracy said, there's no additional adding on to the pole barn. My granddad tried to hunt on my property and all he ever heard was saws, people yelling, nails, drills, everything. And you can see, I just provided you with 2 pictures that he clearly added on pole barns, and Tracy said, there is no new buildings back there. So I'm not sure if Tracy needs glasses. I'm not sure if he even got out of his car when he went over there. I really don't know. But all I know is that he's very incompetent, he's rude and disrespectful, and I can't believe you guys let him represent this township of Columbus. Thank you.
Can I ask you something? Can you make sense of this pictures for me?
Oh, I can see it.
So is this the same as this?
So his picture's a little better.
And what house is that, his?
Yep, this is his house,
So where are you from there?
kitty corner.
Okay.
So this is, here's this, and here's this. So here's his house and here's his house. Here's this and this.
Oh, this
Here's-
is the old picture and this is a now picture?
Correct, and this is the little building, little building, little building, little building.
So
So
this
this
here-
whole barn,
This white thing right here is that same white
Yes.
thing?
this whole barn was built this year, and this whole barn was built this year. If you can see.
I see.
And Tracy told me there's no buildings, and if you see all the little highlighted stuff, because I am a teacher, those are all cows. That Tracy said he didn't see any cows there. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Does the 10 acres behind his property touch the 7 that he has?
He has 17 adjoining, but he only has, of those 10 acres behind his property, he only has about 6 or 7 fenced in. So if you think about his 7 acres that he has at home, they're all not fenced for his cows, and then the 7 next to me. Like he has fenced. Like I can get out of my car and the cows are next to me, no big deal. But when if you wanna live next to 35 cows instead of 10 cows, the difference in manure of 35 cows and 10 cows is a lot, and spreading it all over. I called the Department of Agriculture even, because there might be a no spreading law for January, February, and March because of frost freeze, and he spreads cow manure daily. So.
Where does
And
he,
you, I
he
mean,
spread it in the pasture?
can you clearly see in the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty good on evidence, like. I've done Tracy's job for him, so I don't really know what else I can do. Cause he doesn't seem to see a cow or smell cow poop. And no permits were filed, I looked up online for all those buildings that are full.
I don't know if this is ag or residential or what it is, but if it is ag, he wouldn't need to require a permit because it's ag. And he's doing.
He still has to
Still
do a
have to pull a
zoning.
permit.
He has to adhere to the zoning rules, so.
Yep, and he still has to fill out that form saying he is.
That he is ag and approved. he's
Because
ag.
remember, we did that because everybody was saying they were ag.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
This here, the zoning ordinance says there shall be no limit on the number of animals kept on a parcel of 20 acres or more. Doesn't say a combination of,
No, we've had that discussion before. If it's not continuous property,
right,
Okay, so that's
Did you-
why, when I called up.
it can't be 10 here and 5 over there. and-
It's like she
When I
just
talked
said,
to
Right.
Justin-
yeah.
When I talked to Justin and I had talked to Bruce about it. Justin used the word continuous, but Andy sent me the paper, it doesn't have the word continuous in it, so that's what I'm trying to say to you, there's no bridge over Arlington Road for those
Yeah,
cows
no,
to go over.
It has to touch.
So it doesn't, so Right now, he has 7 and 10 acres, that's it, and he runs it, and he has. And they're only like partially fenced in, not all fenced in, so,
So this goes down to Tracy's interpretation of the rules again.
right, and I mean, I'm not sure. And the guy who calls me, he's just rude as can be. I mean, can one of you go out there with him?
I'll go.
I vote.
He loves me, so no, I'm
I
probably
vote.
not the right one to go.
He loves you?
Yo,
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
I boil the water with him too, but
Yeah.
I keep cows. I am a teacher, I'm a math teacher, actually.
Doesn't take a lot, I know.
I know, but I mean, did he get out of his car? Like,
I'll just say I agree with you.
okay, thank you. So now what will happen from here? Because this is also my third board meeting.
What happened from here, Bruce?
Because Tracy called me, it'll be 2 weeks ago Saturday, and told me he went out there and saw no new buildings and no cows. And he said that since I would not come up here and fill out a complaint form the right way, that.
Oh,
he
I
was-
saw this on the report.
Yeah.
This is the second time because you filled one out before.
Yes.
So why- I was gonna ask that. I was gonna ask that during the Tracy section, is I don't understand why you have to do a second form if it's a re.
So he asked me to fill out a complaint.
Well, the
form.
barn is new. The barn. thing
But
is-
her initial complaint's the same.
Excuse me,
Her initial complaint's the same.
about the cows.
Yeah. Subsequent discussions were had with the complainant, and it should be noted that the complainant refuses to file another citizen's complaint form or provide photographic evidence of the issues being claimed
Not my job.
by the complainant. We have to have photographic evidence of stuff now?
And so I gave you.
He can walk
photos.
onto her property and look
I
at
gave
it.
you photos 4 years ago when he retaliated against me, and I had 3 pumpkins out there, and he called the DNR on me, and they came and gave me $180 ticket. Cause Bruce showed him the pictures to Andy Peters, who lives in the kitty corner from me, and Andy Peters retaliated on me for having pumpkins. So how do you come to a board meeting?
I didn't show anybody.
Has
any.
Tracy been here?
We're not talking about you.
Oh,
Pardon me.
Has Tracy
somebody
been here for 4
Tracy,
years?
Tracy showed.
Has he been
I
here for
sent
4
those
years?
pictures 4 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. I
know you meant.
4 years ago to Tracy, and Tracy showed them to Andy, and Andy retaliated
I
and
don't
called the DNR on me
remember.
for having pumpkins out in the deer. And I got $180 ticket from the
Yeah.
DNR for bait, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll move on, but that's what I'm saying. So coming here tonight, my anxiety is up here because now I'm going to get retaliated on by my neighbor because he can't follow directions and Tracy can't do his job. So why does Tracy have a job?
That's
You're not alone.
Further down the-
You know, with Tracy-
farther down the
Tracy
list,
is-
yes.
You're not alone.
I'm not?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
He's
thank you.
very rude.
I-
Very rude, doesn't follow through with nothing.
I've been a teacher for 18 years and I work down towards 8 Mile Road and I deal with parents who are in jail. I deal with parents who. You name it, I deal with it. I've seen the worst of the worst and I've never had a parent, adult talk to me as rude as him. He told me never to call Bruce again, never to call up to this township.
Are you part of the township?
So what are you gonna do? Anything, I mean,
I think we wait till we get to his section.
okay, well, thanks for,
I think Brent should go out there with him.
Yeah, he won't make it that far.
Or you won't.
I
Yeah.
could go with
Oh,
you.
no, he just won't be employed. If it was up to me, I would have fired him a long time ago.
so. Are there any other comments? Anybody? Going once, going
Not
twice?
yet,
Huh?
not yet.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for coming and we'll move ahead. All right, communications, there were none. Approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll support.
As presented.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, approval of the minutes from January 9th meeting.
Did you have any changes?
On
6 on old business. At the bottom, we've got 2 Behringers.
Two.
She
Okay,
voted twice.
I did. Vote early, vote often.
Scratch one of them.
Oh, yeah,
One should be Duncan, correct?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And did you vote yes?
I assume so. Yeah, I did, yes. You guys all good? Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the minor change.
I'll support.
Get knocked off or something online.
Did you support practice? That's our good internet.
I was just gonna say that, broadband. So disappointing.
I got my internet
Hey.
fixed though.
Yeah.
Do that,
Yes.
Oh, you think you're,
Duncan,
yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Lindsay, yes. Berenger,
Yes.
treasurer report. I have an issue here.
Uh-oh. What's up?
So, on this page. So. Cash checking, but then on the bank statement. It's like wait,
There's gonna be stuff in there that's not cashed.
well, no, I mean like.
That's a pooled account.
Yeah, well, what's that?
That's just our general fund.
Oh, so you have them separated here?
Yes.
So it's one of these other, these
So,
are a couple of these other ones added in?
The parks, the liquor, and the garbage and the building are all combined, because remember we pooled our accounts.
Okay, I know that,
Yep,
I just
Yep,
didn't get it.
yeah, so the 101 is our general fund, anything with the 101.
I thought it
Yep.
was all general fund pretty much,
Nope.
except for, well, I know them are separate.
Yep,
Okay,
nope.
I don't have a question.
Okay. Whew. So yeah, like in our general fund, we're 299 now, so yeah, so you can see what the balance is per account on this sheet.
And the adjustment you're gonna do with the check register?
Yeah, whenever, yeah, like right after, yeah.
Okay.
Or before the check or, we must do it before the check register, the adjustment that we need,
Budget adjustment.
yes. Yeah, otherwise, nothing really special yet, next month. Yeah,
In the
no,
file?
yeah,
I'll make a motion to file it for the report.
I'll second.
Christie, yes. Dudek,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yeah,
Gilman.
Yes.
and Duncan.
yes.
Gary. All right, so let's do that, adjustment.
Okay, so,
this $500 one is the previous adjustment?
all right, so, yes, one is the one that we did. I always show you guys what once I put it in and actually instill it in there.
Okay.
So that's what that one is. I don't even know where I have it right now, but,
So I got questions on this.
okay, so there was one thing over budget, which I copied, the spectrum for the postcard mailing. It was only $349 over the budget. But otherwise, that was it for the election budget. And Angie kept warning us that it's coming, you know, we're gonna have to have money in that account.
340.
Oh, we have to have a lot
Oh.
more because
Otherwise, she can't pay for anything the rest of the fiscal year.
Thousands of dollars here.
No,
I
there's
haven't
not.
paid a single
No, there's
payroll
not.
check.
If you notice right here, year-to-date balance, 7,549, and the budget is 7.
I see that.
220.
So what are all these numbers?
Those are what we need to add to it.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's
Oh, I thought you
thousands of
just-
dollars.
Yes.
So how did salary get so far out of whack already?
Because I haven't only done one payroll with elections, but remember I told you guys with the 9 days of early voting. We have to have 3 people work for 9 straight days.
Oh, and we made this
This is-
before we ever knew
Yeah,
about 9
remember
days.
last spring, I said, this is probably
She
never
warned
gonna be
us and
enough.
warned you guys,
We'll
yeah.
have to do a budget adjustment. And even splitting this with Casco, that's kind of a ballpark idea between early voting and election day.
That's a lot of money to spend for one voter, huh?
It absolutely is. I
Yeah.
told you, those test cases
Yeah.
that they did in towns, were getting 9 people in 9 days that showed up to vote.
Yeah, all the rest were just putting
Yeah,
it,
supplies, I had to buy all
Yeah.
those envelopes. Some of this I'll get a good majority of them, you know, anything that I spent for the presidential primary, I'm gonna get back reimbursed from the state. But it doesn't go back into my account, it just goes back into the general
And
fund.
where does that go? Show me where that goes on here.
I would just put it as refunds.
Okay, that's
Yeah, yeah. If it's something that I know is specifically a refund, I'll put it as a refund.
Okay,
Yeah, or miscellaneous, I'll try to put this one as a refund since it's something that we paid out.
okay. 'Cause I might not have accounted for enough in doing the budget.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have,
So how much do you figure there's gonna be in that
how much, for
of
the-
refund?
I couldn't off the top of my head tell you, because I don't have,
Cause we're gonna have to try and come up with some kind of figure for budget next month. Right?
we're not gonna get refunded in the new budget for any of the elections. That, the regular general election and the
But this election coming up,
presidential.
we won't
prim-
get the money back until the
Oh,
following
you're right,
budget.
you're right. We'll never get the money back for the next fiscal
Yes,
year.
yeah.
I can kind of.
That's all I need is a number.
Okay, I'll give you a ballpark. I got an email today from, the election bureau, because I applied to get reimbursed for that camera that we had to put out there.
Okay, but that's all I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Is the
I'm
number.
trying to come up with an idea of how much we'll get back.
All right, so how much of an adjustment do we need to make here?
I put it on the other sheet. She went off of that chart that
I
she already
originally
gave you guys for the payroll, just how much she thinks it would be per person for the early voting plus election
I
day.
gave it to you
So-
like 3 months ago.
Yeah, so we just did that for the payroll. Otherwise, everything else was just kind of just recouping the money and just saving a little bit left for office supplies. So like the postage, you know, we had to pay for the postage for the cards, the early voting cards. So that made us already, you know, use almost $2,100 part of the budget, you know, so and that was a third of the budget practically.
But that's a
So-
one-shot deal,
Exactly, yes.
because.
Yeah.
Unless we change our polling or our hours, I don't have to send that notice out again.
Okay, are you?
So we're hoping this will be it. We tried to, you know, we don't want to keep, oh, we need a little
So how,
more,
what are
you
you
know.
talking
so-
about? You only want, you wanna put $349 in there, or you wanna
No.
put a lot more money in there? That's what I'm trying to.
Oh, no, this right here, this sheet right here is what I
Oh,
want
I
to put.
can't find that. Stu.
Yep, I have it included.
What's it say?
It looks like the other one, but it has more on it. So it's pretty much what I wrote there and then I just took it out of road. So it's the same thing, I guess it looks like this. It had mine right in front of the,
Yeah, mine
in
was
that.
right in front of
yeah,
that
right in
page.
front of it, so yeah. Yep, that one right there.
All right,
So that's my, what requesting, but if, you know, I can always change this, obviously, it's not approved, so it's not in, like, permanently in the system at all. So.
well, we might as well go ahead and do it. We got plenty of money left over in the roads, right?
Yep, yeah, we
And the
did,
budget's
yes,
Got one more month,
yes,
so. What are we approving? Where's the number?
yeah, because we still have 130,000 left in the contractual. for
So we're
the, yeah.
doing 10,850, correct?
Yes, that's how much we're using. Yep, yep. So taking that out of the contractual, the roads, and then splitting it
Going in.
among the other election ones.
So how do you wanna write this, Phoebe? A budget adjustment to the election?
Well, we're going to put each account in the
I
thing.
know when I do it.
When you do the minutes.
When I do the minutes, I'll do it, but do you want me to make a motion in? Right
You could
now?
just say out of the, take it out of the roads and put into the election
Okay.
account, you know, keep it kind of broad for now.
Okay,
And then we'll specify in the minute
yeah.
what
no, no,
accounts.
Yeah,
So who's making a motion?
Why are they gonna come out of roads?
Cause there's money left in that budget
It
account.
doesn't have to come out of roads.
We over budget in our roads. And we had about. We usually do 180,000 per account, and this one still had 170,000 left. That wasn't used, so,
Because we got no work done from the county last year.
yeah, so it just was extra budget
Well,
money.
not much, anyhow. We got some.
they scraped my road today.
Well, they don't scrape mine.
But you don't have,
I was gonna say a lot.
But- it's not a law that it has to come out of roads. It could come out of
Wherever,
contingencies,
Mhm.
or it could come out of, I don't know, if you found a pocket of money like under Township Hall or something, doesn't matter where it comes from, if it's unspent, you can transfer it as
Does it
a,
get put back to roads?
no.
Because it's a budget. It's just
it's a budget, it's not actual cash, it's budget, yeah.
Just a show.
I'll make the motion to take 10,850 out of roads and put it in the election account. Which I'll specify in a minute.
And 850.
I'll second.
Takes you longer.
Oh, you're fine, take your time.
I just want to understand. what I'm doing.
Nope, nope.
Okay, you that,
Yes,
Gilman,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
carried. Okay. Check register.
Remember last month when you said it, your complaint was it was too low? I made up for it this time.
I guess.
Want me to spend money? I'll spend money.
So what was, they allowed double this time?
Well, the garbage. Was in there twice in the fire contract.
Oh, yeah, the fire contract came too, yeah.
Wow, snow removal kind of high for not removing much snow,
Well, Mike and I had a talk about that. We were a little kind of wondering, but you know, and Phoebe will tell you, I've told them that for years. When you're here, can you not leave us something saying you were here? And that one day it snowed and they didn't come till, I think we were leaving, weren't we, Mike? And they salted. And I don't think
And
Mike,
they didn't
I
ask
think
them.
Mike told them one
huh? He
time.
told them once to salt.
Yeah, I think he told them once. But they did it several times if you look at the invoice.
What was interesting, the last time they did the entire building. And they've never done that before. They did the handicap.
Cause they probably got a new guy or something.
Is that on contract?
Excuse me?
Is that on contract?
Yes. But it's renewable every year, so. The thing is, try to get people to bid on stuff where, you know, to send in proposals. It's hard. Almost as hard as getting someone to sit on a board.
Those snow removal people are probably pushing anywhere they can squeeze in an extra snow push or assault this year because they haven't had much work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
oh, so we did get a thing from, okay, from the legal side too.
The old attorney said he didn't have anything. Oh, can you believe that?
Well, then he should refund us the money because they must have gone back through the bill and credited us. Because the last one I got showed a credit. So then. Maybe I should call, or you should call Bruce and say, since you have nothing open, can you send us the money back that we apparently are owed?
Why is Giffel so much?
Is that the dog kennel?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we haven't paid that out.
It took a
Yeah.
while
Yeah,
for that to come, that bill to come for the.
So that would be 500 added on to his regular fee.
Okay. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve check number 4421 to 4482 and electronics 87 to 90 with a total of 92,979.50.
I'll support.
You done?
Yes.
Merger.
Yes.
Yes. Zach,
Yes,
Tillman,
Yes.
Henry. Ordinance report. So. You have a bunch of paperwork here, so.
Like
um,
a lot.
Well, you guys asked me about looking into the BSNA program about different stuff, right?
The second part was weird, though. Just the,
All right, well,
yeah,
I didn't, there,
you
there's,
know,
what there is, on the enforcement. There's open cases and closed cases going back to 19. So. I mean, it shows that, it at least shows stuff is getting done.
I just wish the violation list had like a address on it,
And in. I
you
know.
know? Cause it was just kind of like,
Violation list, well, here's the problem with the violation list, is that it includes building code violations.
that's what I thought,
And I
too,
don't know how
yeah.
to separate them out,
Yeah,
but. You can go by the record number, I think. But maybe not,
Yeah, it did have a lot.
but they're, they're mixed in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I did that is because it's more explanatory that way.
Yeah, it was nice, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
just kind of gives you a look without having to go and actually dig it up through the BSNA program. That violations are getting listed and they're getting looked into. And I know that ordinance enforcement is a thankless job and nobody likes the enforcement guy ever. It don't matter who you got, nobody likes him.
Hey, Bruce, to find out about one, is it best to come to a meeting or I
To find out about what?
like some of the complaints?
The status of one?
Yes. I mean, I've talked to you about this before, but
I guess you could ask Justin what the status is on the ordinance. He's the clerk. in
Yeah, he
that
could look it up and
department.
see what
He can
the,
look up what's going on with it,
Mhm.
where it stands. if a letter's been sent out, if it's been closed or if it's still open or whatever. But, Tracy doesn't, and I don't know that any of them do. I don't know if any previous ones did. But he doesn't, as a rule, get back with the complainer to tell them how it worked out or to keep them abreast of where it stands. And I don't know how other ordinance officers do, but I don't remember. I don't
I don't
remember,
remember any other ones doing.
I don't remember other
I-
ones doing
I-
it either, because there'd be a lot of correspondence
I'm
going
gonna
back.
say,
and
I
forth.
kind of see
You're
it.
supposed to know where it goes. That's the only reason instead of coming in here.
No, I see your point. I do see your point.
You know, I come in here, bug you, I come in here at the meeting, bug you guys at the meeting, whatever, you know, there's no,
Okay,
You
you
never
never
know.
know. Look up the address, look up violations.
is that what you do? But how often is it filled out, you know, where he needs?
No, it's not on it.
Excuse me?
Let's say it's not online.
I'd say-
He is
I don't think it would
about
be on BSNA. Yeah, they wouldn't,
Yeah.
So,
just assessing
It
and.
was on BSNA or where'd you find it?
Yeah, like you go to violations and it shows like the date I did it and then he closed it out because I wouldn't thought.
Did you find it on the BSNA
That's
website?
interesting.
Really? Okay,
So,
I
like,
didn't know that either. I knew they had
So-
building stuff. I didn't know they had violations.
Just learned something, huh?
Yeah, oh, I like that.
You see my complaint from 4 years ago and there was like a violation of cows and then there
Why
was.
didn't
a
any of us know
second stuff. And the third one, he did, what he was supposed to. And then you see my new complaint, I just didn't close it out already because I would have thought.
I'm surprised that
It
BSNA
must be a different BSNA program than we're using. Yeah.
maybe it's-
No, it would be the
Nope,
BSNA
same one.
website, like where you pay your taxes and where you look up
Yeah, I never
assessing,
gone
you
there.
look up building and everything.
Excuse me?
They gotta
live out of the county?
No. No.
No,
Us is living.
It sounds like there's a job opening.
You got somebody?
Firing.
I'll make a motion.
I have a question on this one here, the Crawford Road one.
I don't know, you know. If you're honestly interested, it'd be something to discuss
What is
because,
building inspector?
excuse me?
Is a building inspector part of that?
No,
Ordinance?
no, it's just all conglomerated right now. But I'm sure that,
Maybe when he gets fired.
I'm sure our current guy wouldn't mind giving up the ordinance enforcement part.
Yeah, but isn't he building too right now?
Yeah, but that's
He's
not, I
building,
mean,
zoning, and
doing the building inspection is not the same thing as doing ordinance.
it's
What is
three
the job
titles,
title?
ordinance officer, zoning administrator and building and official.
yeah, and they do the liquor inspections.
Oh, yeah, and liquor, yeah.
Which is once a month.
I mean, honestly, he only took it on because, I couldn't find anybody.
And the liquor,
I don't think he likes doing it.
and I was saying,
I'm not, I can't really speak for him, but I'm just saying.
Phoebe, what was his job title again?
Building official, zoning administrator, ordinance officer, and liquor inspector, okay.
Why does it
Okay,
say,
which one did
why does it say on his invoice?
Just Monday,
Building official
morning.
duties
Well,
ending.
but he works
12/31/22.
throughout the,
yeah,
it doesn't count for inspections and everything, but he's in the
On
office.
every one of his
Monday,
invoices, it
so,
says that.
yeah.
Is he on vacay right now?
he was here all day yesterday.
What now?
I don't know.
Product or
I don't know if he,
Yesterday.
he probably left at like 12 or 1, I don't know. I don't know what time he left, but yeah.
He hasn't returned my call. He woke me up, so.
It's just got
I'm
the
just
dates.
trying to do my job and call him back.
So I'm always looking for people with billboards and, I take applications all the time, 'cause you never know.
Probably not a great job to have, people probably attack you, but I'm just saying like. If there's an ordinance in a township, just follow it, just follow rules, how hard is it to follow?
We all agree with that. Unfortunately, the people who don't follow the rules
Well-
don't think that's.
Our problem is, we have like a very extreme and then we have very nice
Yeah.
ordinance, so we have like every, like, it's a hard
To me, part
spot.
of it got carried away, but some of it went too far and now. A lot of people are at the point where they,
They're gonna do what they want.
exactly,
Yeah, they're gonna keep.
Because
and you're
only
gonna-
certain people get in trouble for doing.
Well,
or the fine ain't enough, you get a little slap on the hand and. You're good to
Well,
go.
the problem, the wheels of the justice turn slow and.
Yeah,
and you always,
Yeah.
and you have to be careful of the violators' rights also. Right? It's not just the complainer who has rights, it's the violator has rights too.
Mhm.
And our attorney is putting together structured plan from working off of our, a flow chart. We have a flow chart that we came up with, and he's working on, tightening it up and making it more solid so that we can do everyone the same way. And he asked me, you know, give him 90 days to show some progress, and he thinks you guys will like it.
Does he respond to just complaints, or does he go out and find?
I mean, he called me on a Saturday morning, believe it or not, like, I'm like, who is calling me from like Columbus Township, and I answered, and he said, it was Tracy, and I said, what are you calling for? And he said about the complaints, and he said, I went over there and didn't see anything, and I was like, well, I, beg to differ with you, and he told me to stop talking, that he was talking. And he kept going, and I walked, put my boots on and walked back to my property and took pictures of cows that, I mean, a 5-year-old could see.
I'm just curious. I mean, you know,
He's not supposed to go after stuff that doesn't have a complaint.
okay, that was my question.
Yep.
Then you can see.
Because otherwise, he would be working on all kinds of,
There
Yeah.
should be complaints papers on
But here's
hand.
my thing, why is the
requested.
complaint, your
Which
complaint form online? Like,
give me an example.
It will be when our
It will be
website's
on the
working.
no, like,
They're
submit
one for-
online.
Oh, to submit
Like,
online,
it's
oh,
2024.
Doesn't
like,
tell us the name of the
I
complaint.
Fill it out, hit submit, and it just comes to you guys.
There is one for me?
No, which
never
happened?
thought of that. That's actually a really good
I
idea.
thought-
You
I
personally?
thought it would be able to do that.
No.
The
I did
BSNA,
too.
you're saying?
Like,
No, our new.
No,
why can't they fill out building permits and stuff online?
I was gonna say, if you can
And
access
they
it
find
online.
They put them online and
But
everything.
they do that through BSNA.
They do.
Is there supposed to be a complaint, or does? he
So I wonder if
follow up?
BSNA does accommodate for
I
that.
have a
No, it's supposed to be a
website meeting
complaint.
with the new website builder. Tomorrow, he's gonna take me a walk through it and see,
I got a letter.
what there is and any questions, and I'll ask him that.
That would be a good one, yeah.
And if it's on
Not on
BSNA,
board.
they may accommodate for that too, since apparently you can see it on BSNA.
This is supposed to be all the stuff he's.
She said.
But it would be
Yeah.
nice if you could go into that form right on the website, do it,
Alright,
and
so-
submit it like she said.
Maybe we can put the complaint form on BSNA.
well, I just don't understand why, I mean, this is 2024, like, I should be able to go online and
Yeah.
put in where my complaint is, the address, what I'm complaining, hit submit, and it should come to you guys. He's telling me you need to fill out a form between 9 and 2, and I said, no.
No, he told me to go online.
And like, he told me to go online and print it and bring it here, and I'm like.
Well, honestly, we're dinosaurs in the process of becoming nowadays.
We're actually pretty ahead of other townships, I must say, so. I've seen some bad ones.
As an inspector of him, why aren't those things confidential? Like, why is he going to the neighbor and saying?
It should never. be
No,
told who made the
it should be
complaint.
confidential.
Well, the problem.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is, right, you bring it up, she brings it up right here in this meeting. You're.
Oh, she's out now.
My name was brought up
Yeah.
how many times in
Yeah.
past meetings,
I know,
Yeah.
I
and then I
know.
did stuff. And
I
my
know, we
name was
have had that
posted in the
discussion
minute.
before, because you shouldn't be scared at your own home,
That should
you
be-
know, and that's
Yeah,
the main
but
thing. We have
the-
talked about this.
that should
If
be-
the
Yeah.
minutes ever,
So-
if we ever get our website
But Rob,
and
what
the
I'm
minutes
saying
are
is
out there,
like
you're
4
right.
years ago, when.
But
he
it's
was
just-
taking
because now
pictures, I
that
didn't know
person
that
knows
was
who
quite
to blame.
the
Yeah,
He
should-
called
that's all I'm
out,
saying.
and
Right.
Okay.
then he retaliated. against
Yeah.
But this is an open meeting.
Yeah, so.
So I,
So when it's an open meeting, we can't say we can't use your name, or we can't say that
Yeah.
because.
Yeah, there's an Open Meetings
Yeah.
Act. that we
Yeah,
have to follow.
yeah.
so
But-
if it's all on here, these are all the ones he's working. Why would someone have received a violation or a letter stating that they have an issue on their property if it's not on here? And there's no complaint.
I'm
What's
not
your
following what
question?
you're saying.
Yeah, what's your question?
So there's a
I
complaint on
received,
Tony.
I received one, but there's no,
It's
nothing filled
on,
out on paper.
I told you that last
Because maybe
meeting,
it's
remember?
new.
But it is on
Is it?
the big list maybe.
But maybe
Yeah.
how new is it?
I don't know, there's a new one.
Because there's
On-
fresh, there's
There's a
fresh
Ballman
tickets
one
that
on
just
here?
went out.
No
There is-
ticket, just a warning.
No, I'm in violation, I got 30 days to respond.
So yeah,
I
that
call-
would
I-
probably
I-
be on the
I call-
BSNA
I
list.
mean, yes,
But yeah,
not
that's
on
what I
the
told you,
call.
why some stuff is there and some aren't, I don't know.
But did you respond?
I came in yesterday and I called them, and I got no response yet.
Okay.
I'm just curious, because that's why I'm just.
So
asking
we don't
questions.
even know how it's gonna work out yet.
No, but I'm just asking questions. Does that paper got to be filled out before he goes, or is it something that he just looks at and says, oh, he's in violation of?
If it's ordinance or building,
I think this is his, I think this is his right here.
You think he did?
No, I got the paperwork from him.
I think so, yeah.
But he
Work
did,
without a
because he
permit.
doesn't do
Yeah,
this.
oh,
He opened,
yeah,
he
he
opened his
does-
own can of worms.
It is on here.
This is all his own doing right here.
Your violation is on here.
Yeah.
But I know what Brett's saying, because on this one here. This one here where he, there's so many pages. The one on Gratiot that he's. Which page is that?
I don't know for building though, building's different,
Legally, it does not.
yeah,
Yeah,
Legally, there does not have to be a complaint.
yeah, not a building violation.
yeah, not
kind of-
building, cause
Yeah.
if you're building,
It's
you're,
kind of
you know.
policy to do complaint notices, because. I mean, it could get out of hand. You could have hundreds and hundreds of them to do and, you know.
And then you're picking and choosing, so, I
Well-
mean, if he doesn't have a.
What do you mean?
complaint-
What do you mean?
So if he doesn't have a complaint on it, there could be someone down the street that has the exact same thing going on.
Okay.
And you're just driving by going, all right, well, you know what, maybe I don't like this guy, so I'm gonna send him a letter, but I'm not gonna send the neighbor a letter who has the exact same thing going on.
See, but the difference is hers is a complaint about things.
Right, I'm not saying
That's
her,
a
I'm just
building,
saying.
that's a building. These are like, this is like apples and
They're two
oranges.
separate
Yeah.
issues.
No, we're not saying, we're not even trying to compare those. He's
Okay.
just asking, how is that fair that he can just be driving on the road and say, oh, there's a violation, I better stop. You
But
know,
how do you know that's what happened?
But yeah, we don't know him, but as a building official, isn't that kind of his job?
Yeah,
It is.
that is his job to make sure
Yeah.
stuff is permitted,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, as a.
But the barns were built over there. He didn't do anything about it.
Exactly,
So, I
I
mean,
mean,
that's-
that is a job, yes.
Isn't an ordinance officer the same way? Isn't that his job? If he sees blight, if he sees a camper parked
Not
on a
for
vacant lot?
ordinance one, no,
Yeah,
no.
we tried, that's the one I was talking about, was just to have a written
I
complaint.
just wanna
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from, sir, where you're coming from. So he basically just got a letter that said you were in violation or something.
Yeah, I got 30 days to pull permits and everything. So,
So,
I built a whole structure, is what I did.
but if you lived behind the woods,
No one would know.
no one would know, and that's where I'm coming from, that no one knows what my neighbor.
Permit for a tree. But I would think I would wait until you discuss it and find out where you're really staying and what's up with that.
I don't know what that.
Because we don't know how.
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious, I just wanna know what the legality is with the township, is what I'm trying to find out. How he goes
All
about
right,
it.
legally, they could drive around and just start writing down addresses and send them letters.
So they're just gonna drive up like.
Well, they could drive up and down every road
Okay, but-
and write and send notices out
But
to
he could be
people.
my neighbor, which I have no idea who he is, but he could be my neighbor, but my driveway's 700 feet, so how do you know if I build an open structure, but I would follow the law.
Nobody would know if they can't see
And
it
that's
from
what
the
I'm
road.
saying, like my neighbor, he's building, and no one knows until I have to come to a complaint, then now I'm gonna get retaliated.
That's all we can do is when it comes to us, is when it comes to our attention, then we address it, you know?
And
It's-
I do know when assessing,
And when assessing does stuff
assessing
too,
has to do 20% of the township
yeah,
every year.
so they will go to your
And
property.
if they find
Yeah.
something on there that's not.
That's not being
permitted,
taxed or whatever, they'll bring it to our attention
yeah, they
too,
bring it to our
yeah,
attention.
Yeah.
And they can go on the property.
yep.
But we're working on it. We're trying to improve the system. I mean. I'm honestly already bogged down with so much stuff that I don't
Well,
have
this,
time for.
this ordinance thing is
Oh.
like a never,
And, you know, I try to see things through that they get looked at and taken care of as best I can, and, we're just gonna try to improve the system. That's all we can do, is keep on trying to improve it. But I don't think we can spend all night on just on this.
can I just ask a couple questions on the original, not these printouts, but the one Tracy turned in? Because it says here for the one on Crawford, which is page 3, the formal hearing was held. As of this writing, the township is awaiting word from Scott Mazie.
Yeah, I had that marked too.
Oh,
We don't have Scott Mazie.
Because we do for that one,
We do.
for that one,
We've never gotten a bill from him.
and I don't know why. But he was between that little window between
When we had.
the last lawyer and the first lawyer.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was because the court date just popped up and I wasn't gonna let them charge us $2,000 travel time to come to it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well then that is okay then. Did you have more questions or no?
And this one on Grash is that he's original complaint of a rundown building. That lady called today, she's very upset, but I don't know who did a complaint, because I never heard anybody.
About what? The
Up
one
on
next to
Gratiot,
the.
he said it needs to be torn down or repaired.
Okay,
Crash.
No response from owner, she called.
Oh, okay, so further, right before new cases,
Yeah.
okay.
see, I thought he was talking to somebody about that.
Yeah, he said he talked to somebody, but I don't remember who. And the other one, there's another one on my road that he talked to somebody. Yeah, he said.
Oh, yeah, it does talk about somebody,
Yeah.
an excavating
Cause he
company.
told me those people live on the other side of the state.
Anything else on this?
So, do you remember what month? How many months ago we made the complaint about Gratiot and Short? And voted as a board to tell him to go out and file that ticket?
Yeah.
What month was that?
How long it's been?
Yeah.
Maybe November.
Well, I need a date for our form. So I have to
Oh,
officially
sorry.
fill the form out because the board vote didn't count. So I want to make sure I put the right date on here.
I can look right now.
Yeah, and I don't understand because I watched Justin fill one
Oh,
out.
I know, I know exactly why. We're running into a problem. If he doesn't like to do ordinance, he's still employed by the township and he can't go out or make phone calls and badger residents and tell them not to call people. It's totally unprofessional. And he does it to us and now he's doing it to residents. What does he do that we don't know about? That's a problem. And I don't manage him. So does he just run his own deal and we have no control over him? It's like the Wild West.
Well, no, it's not supposed to be the Wild West.
I guess that's my question is who manages Tracy?
I thought he was supposed to answer to you, Bruce.
Because this is awful. I've asked every single meeting on that. I know I've missed a couple. What is he doing with that one? And then we had to make a board vote. And there is nothing written that says we have to fill this form out. We've gone over that before, but somehow he's coming up saying we have to turn this in. And it doesn't have to be turned in if the board tells him to do something. I just don't understand it. It's infuriating. It's a simple deal. You have an open piece of property that you're not allowed to park a camper and a semi truck on. It's not allowed, but he's decided that it is allowed. And he's essentially thumbing his nose at us, collecting a paycheck every single month and saying he's not going to do it. That's a problem.
Right on that, he told me, I asked him about that, he told me that they're in compliance now.
Only because they pulled a permit. They do
pulled-
not have a home on that property.
Right, I know, that's what I said, I asked him, that's how we got it.
He's finding loopholes
how is he
for
in
people
compliance?
that he likes versus people that he doesn't.
That's what he's doing with me, telling me that Andy Peters has 23 acres, even
Right.
though the other 6 acres.
Doesn't
is
count.
Arlington.
Has to be touching property.
August 8th.
August 8th. Has to say, I thought it was before November.
That's what he told me. And but the word continuous is not in your ordinance. Like I looked it up and like read it fine too, so.
It's somewhere. I know we went over that, whether it was planning commission or something.
But it also, what I read to you earlier says a parcel. If you have a parcel of 20 acres, not parcels totaling 20 acres.
Right.
A parcel.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying, he owns
Tony could
7,
have 100 cows and
Rents
no, we
10.
can't say anything because he's got way more.
But like, so my question to you is the 10 acres that he rents, he only fences 7 in, so could he only have that amount of cows for the 7 acres is fenced in?
Now, I will say, because I have horses, and I believe, and I could be wrong, and maybe it's changed, but you don't have to have it fenced, you just have to have the property.
Right.
There isn't an ordinance saying how much has to be fenced, just, you're allowed so many animals per acre
Okay, so that's still.
without fence, right?
That's
You're
still 14
Still has
cows.
too many.
Exactly,
It's,
it still has too many, but
but, and I'm fine with 14 cows. Sure, Anthony called Lomas. I talked to him. I mean, I really am fine with 14 cows. But like when you have 25, 30 cows and you're spreading manure every day, I have a problem.
right, I don't blame you, but.
And I think he goes out there and I really think I wouldn't be surprised if his neighbor and him have a little deal.
Well, we could talk all night. We're not gonna get anywhere on this. So, what,
I guess why doesn't he, why doesn't he have to come to these?
He told me he was gonna come, but I don't know why he couldn't. Apparently he was gonna try.
I guess as an employee and he's like, seems to be the major problem at my first board meeting. And everyone up there looks disgusted with him. Why isn't he mandated to be here?
I don't know. I don't even know if you can mandate them to be here.
If we had it in the contract or something, if he got paid, I don't know. I don't think we have that in the contract. So,
I'm not saying there's not an issue.
are you good? Did you need us to sign something or something?
Oh, we can sign it.
Oh,
Do we
okay.
sign,
Oh,
we'll,
okay.
we'll all sign the complaint form.
Okay, that's how I thought you were gonna pass it down or whatever, but okay.
We can do that. The top one.
I'm probably gonna run out.
Got a little
so.
bit bigger handwriting than the other.
I'm open to resolutions for it, so. Anybody has a viable solution, I'm glad to hear it.
Well, does he need someone to go model how he's supposed to do his job?
Excuse me? I don't understand what you said.
I mean, does he need like somebody to go hold his hand and show him how to do his job? Like model, like I'm a school teacher, you do, I do, we do.
Yeah,
Or is there any training through the,
Right,
township that they do for that? I'm just asking, I don't know.
He does it for multiple townships. Right?
Yeah, but
He does building and enforcement for multiple townships.
you know, I don't know if he does enforcement at other places.
I don't know if he does. Yeah. I haven't heard that he does.
But I mean, do you guys offer a class that you can go take that?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to check with MTA to see if something's available. I don't know.
MTA, yeah.
Like how to make friends and win people over or something.
We had a count.
Is it two
Anything
of
else
them?
on this issue?
Just the top one. The
Oh,
back
okay.
one, I
Okay.
bad handwriting.
You need to sign it first. All
Do
right.
I need to sign this?
Yeah. We all made the motion. I made the motion. Sorry, I'm the bad guy. But we all voted yes. It was unanimous. He was supposed to go out after that meeting and issue a violation.
I
All right.
start with-
We still won't do it.
I know.
Excuse me?
I said he still won't do it.
No. Where did you sign, Brett?
I haven't yet.
Oh.
Paper thing.
Yeah, I'm not. Throw my pen, my pen back, maybe.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, is this your pen? Sorry.
All right.
Don't want
So
to-
any more questions on ordinance?
Oh, I did see what it all entails.
I don't think it's that bad.
At first I thought it was the building inspector and the ordinance with the.
No, it's just how it came to be, apparently. Is everybody good on stuff for ordinance? Everybody's good?
Motion to file?
All right, I'll make a motion to file the ordinance officer's report.
I'll support.
Krisky, yes. Hudak,
No,
Duncan,
Yep.
Gilman,
No,
Berenger,
Yes.
Sherry. Assessor report, there was no. Okay, old business. Local control. You know how the state took away our local control last year with Public Act 233. They took over, sent it to the Michigan Public Service Commission to deal with solar energy and wind energy. Well, there's a grassroots effort to get it on the ballot. It's called Citizens for Local Choice, if anybody wants to look into it. I have a resolution that Columbus Township expressing support for the Citizens for Local Choice ballot initiative, which seeks to amend the Clean and Renewable Energy and Energy Waste Reduction Act, repeal Part 8 as added by the Public Act 233 of 2023 in an effort to restore local control for wind and solar operations.
Nice.
So
I will make a
And
motion.
that took the control away from our township.
Yeah,
All local.
So if they wanna put wind,
it's kind of like eminent
Turbine
domain.
that
Goes to the
Yeah.
state, it goes to
Yeah.
the state, yeah, they're on the
Yeah, we have
control.
no say.
Were you making a motion?
Yeah, I was gonna make a motion to pass resolution 2124. For local how do we want it?
The top, I don't know, local,
I'll support on that.
to restore local control for wind and,
Restore.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For wind and solar operations.
Did you support Stan?
Yes.
And then, yeah.
So, the motion. For. To approve support. Okay, Christie, yes. Berenger,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yeah.
Hudak,
Yes.
Duncan.
Yes.
Can you sign this, Angie?
Yep.
And then I'll, make you end up with it.
Yep.
Next is just a FYI, it's about phishing threats. On the computer. So this Sophos machine that we just got is. Hopefully gonna help us on this. It's a firewall with VPN capabilities. Next. Angie wanted to speak about elections. I don't know why, but go ahead.
My life revolves around it. 5 days a
Again?
week. I can't sleep. I'll be at the county at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Just wanting to let you guys know that it is, I did the nonprofit, which I can do a bulk mailing, but in order to put it in the mailbox, I have to put regular postage. So I'm going to, I know we put that box out there so I wouldn't have to go to the post office, but if I figure it's cheaper for me to drive to the post office with a whole bunch so I can use nonprofit, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna figure it out. Like now I've been putting some out every day. I'm not worrying at all about this because the state has to pay us all back. But it's gonna be kind of hit or miss next 2 elections, how I do it, just to try and save us some money. The postage is, Well, the return postage, the state has to pay, which ultimately we're all paying anyway, but, and then I'm having trouble with my one laptop. I'm gonna call High Tech tomorrow and see if they can look at it. If not, I may have to get one. The state sent us a brand new laptop. I got hold of the county yesterday and I said, can I use that brand new laptop? Because it's an early voting laptop, but Casco's doing our work combined with Casco. And they told me no. It's an early voting laptop and that's all it's meant for is early voting.
Your new one?
Yeah, the one that's still in the box, locked up in the closet. I can't use it and it makes no sense to me to send other, why they did that, I don't know. Why did they send a laptop that I can't use? And we'll have to get another one.
Because they don't have to earn the money, all they have to do is spend it.
Right. Yeah, so, and then we're trying to do a potluck for the meal, not having a whole lot of success. So we're trying to do like a Mexican thing and have everybody bring something, but I had to hire new people who apparently don't understand the concept of
Responding.
responding
Yeah.
and contributing.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do like we did last time, and just Jennifer said she would cook and get some, ground chuck and she can do taco meat and then hopefully everybody will bring this rest of the stuff. I'll get some
Meat
tacos.
tortilla, the meat, that's our.
So it'll be, I already had
Whoever
one.
votes in person.
Yeah, along with the 12,000 ballots that the county over ordered.
Make everybody show up and vote.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the way we
But-
do it here.
Well, that's the way everybody ought to do it, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I agree. I think this 9 days of, but again, I've been preaching this since we had that election. This was kind of under the radar of what they advertised with the election thing. Nobody knew much about the early voting. They thought it was gonna be all these things like absentee voting, things we were already doing. And just making way more work, right?
Work and
Way-
money.
Way more.
Work and money,
Yeah,
yeah.
and money, you're right.
Well, hopefully, after a couple of years, they find out it's not doing anything,
It's
maybe
a law.
they'll repeal it.
Well, we can, try to repeal it, because
Cause
It's
it's
just
a waste of
become-
money for sure.
yeah, the amount of money that we're spending in our township, and you think about, well, you're bigger, and you think about some of these cities, how can they do this? This one here gets reimbursed by the state. How is the city of Detroit or Flint or Grand Rapids gonna pay August and November? It's gonna break the bank.
I think it'd be better to make election day a national holiday and everybody gets the day off with pay
A lot
if they
of-
go vote.
It'd be cheaper for everybody.
It
It
would.
would be, it would be.
If you go vote, you get paid off.
And
paid
back
day
in the
off.
old days, you
Yep,
went,
work.
you stood in line, you put your ballot in, nobody complained.
We don't care about that.
Say that out loud, I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's not.
Yeah, some
Only some
countries,
people
they
would.
vote on Saturday or
You
something.
know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
It-
Get free
This
ticket
is
for
a
something.
stupid plan, but
Yeah.
we're stuck with it at this point.
Yeah,
All right, so you
Okay.
set?
yeah, that's about all I
All
wanted.
right, how about Comerica Bank? Let's hear about Comerica Bank.
So it's up for renewal. I think we have like about 230,000 in there. Yeah, a little over 230,000.
And we already have one in this account.
Yeah. So
And
it's up for renewal, but they kind of hook you in that you have to have 2,500 new dollars to the account. So either we would, if we do a CD, we have to add an extra $2,500 to it, 2,500. But on the other hand, I thought the money market looked kind of appealing. Cause you're stuck, you can have 4.5%, 12 months fixed rate. And then after that, we can see what we want to do. But to me, and it's liquid, you can grab it if we need to.
I
So
like that.
I liked it too. Yeah.
Well,
So do you need us to make a motion on it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what do you want us to say?
Um,
To approve.
to approve,
approved business money market account.
yep, the money market for Comerica Bank.
So to renew it into a business money market.
Exactly. Yep, renew into, yeah.
Renew it. Is this the one we have to put the money, 2,500?
No.
No,
No,
No.
okay, approved business. How do you want business money market account? 4.5%?
Yep.
How much did you say?
It's about what did I say, 230,000, yep. A little more, but 752 and 50 cents, but
I'll put approximately.
Yeah.
So they're America,
yeah,
same bank, same
For,
money.
for 12 months.
shifting it over.
Just
Yep,
different-
yeah,
Different bank book.
yeah. Yeah, I think we did a smaller term, so
Okay.
Yeah.
So who made that motion?
I made the
Berger?
motion, yep.
I'll support.
Do that. Gilman? Yes. Yes. Berenger? You there?
Yes.
Duncan?
yes.
Carried. Fiscal policy. I didn't make any proposed changes on here. Figure we'll do it right here and everybody will sign it. We have a new contract with the assessor, so it's good for a couple more years. The auditor contract runs out in March. Planner contracts open. Ordinance officer open, zoning administrator open, so they'll just go on, there's,
Ongoing till we.
till we,
get this
till they
on.
don't go on.
Okay.
I didn't have personally any plan to raise or to review the planning commission or the ZBA, because I thought we had just done that.
We did, yeah.
Um.
So the new hire is
The
now
new
$20?
hire,
Oh, okay, yeah,
I'm saying, we voted already to raise it to 20 during the year.
oh,
So,
okay.
so I put it.
I
at
didn't
20.
remember what came of that. Okay, that was already approved. Okay.
Um. The township attorney one reflects the new rate, the Unitel and the Confortel. High tech, there again, that's. I think. We just have a service agreement, it's not a contract, so that's just. I think it's an annual thing. I don't even know if they renew with us or just keep going.
The who? The,
High tech,
oh, high tech. Oh, okay, okay.
Then Comcast will run out in 25, the copier 28, the Marcotte 31. And the mail machine at 26. You know what I don't see here is, oh yeah, the maintenance guy. So. The main,
Oh, yep, he's right here.
yeah, the maintenance
Yep.
guy,
Yeah, we need a raise
I think we should bump him up a couple bucks.
for sure.
Um,
He does really,
and
he's been
Mike,
doing great.
and the office manager, I think we should bump him up a couple bucks.
I don't know.
Building department clerk, that's, you guys have to talk about what you think there.
About what?
Building department clerk,
Oh, okay. So what are, let's kind of focus on one thing at a time. So maintenance, what are you thinking for maintenance? I think easily 20. He doesn't,
Well, if our new hire's 20,
exactly, yeah, and he doesn't. I don't see him like, oh, he's fooling around again. He does his job and then he leaves,
he does.
yeah, yeah. And we want to keep him too, well, he's doing quite good, so. So what are you guys thinking for him? You guys think 20 for the maintenance? You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
I
all right,
Just
so
want open-
20,
Open input. I don't want anybody going away mad.
$20. So maintenance person moved to 20. And this is gonna be all as of April 1st, obviously. So, okay.
Yeah, that's right,
So then it would be paid into May.
right.
Okay, so you were also thinking
Office meeting.
election, do they get paid 15 an hour?
That-
Where's the
that's good.
election?
That's up at the top.
Oh, you're, okay. I thought
That's,
they got paid 20.
no,
Okay, maybe I just made that
They've
up.
been-
Okay.
they've been getting paid 15. That's good. That's about what the state,
That's
Is-
like the regular rate.
yeah, I got in touch with a whole bunch of townships
Okay.
in the last
Okay.
few weeks.
I don't know why. I
and
assumed it was
Most of
20.
them are paying.
I don't know why. Okay.
I mean, 15.
Oh,
Most of them
15.
are
Yeah,
paying
sorry.
15, I'm sorry.
Yep, yep.
What does that mean, bonus per
That
election?
says if you're the chairperson, you get an extra $15 for the day. Oh,
Oh.
The election
okay.
chair.
yeah,
Yeah, it's been like that forever.
forever.
Yeah.
On all the boards, we pay the chair a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little bit
extra.
more. Casco pays the chair like $18 an hour, but.
Oh, they pay them a little
Pay it more.
bit. Yeah.
Who's the election chair?
Where I decide, I always get one of the ladies that's been here the longest, who has the most experience. I have one in each precinct, so they can go to that person if they're, if they have questions. Cause like I said, I had to hire new people. I got 5 new people, one already quit before there was even an election.
Okay, so maintenance, good. All right. And then you were also
Next
thinking,
one. So then the next one would be building department clerk. What's your thoughts there? Anybody? Ferris?
Have you reviewed them?
I would not perform his review. That would be up to Tracy to perform his review, but. Personally,
Justin?
yes,
He's been here a while,
he's been here long.
but he still
He's,
forwards questions to me.
What's he make now?
20. I don't want to say he does a bad job, but
He was
he's,
very nice to me on the phone when I called, but he's not very knowledgeable yet.
he's not,
He's been here for like 2.
he's not aggressive
half
at,
years, yeah.
I mean, for lack of a better word.
overzealous.
He's not
or
like
whatever. I don't know.
He has no initiative to learn anything new or to,
He's a pleasant guy. He does,
is.
he does good.
he does what you ask him to do, but he does what you ask him to do.
And no raise.
Okay, we need to be careful what we say at the
Yeah.
meeting. Yes,
Yeah.
for employees. For sure.
He shows up every single day.
He does, he's
Yeah, he
punctual.
never, I think he missed like 1 or 2 because of a dentist or, I mean, he comes every day.
Okay.
Any input, fellas?
Yeah, I don't know.
I do
I-
say, on the other hand, cost of living is gone up a lot.
When did they well, that's the new higher rate amount anyways.
He's been at this rate of pay for a long time, and now we're
Okay.
doing new hires at that same wage.
Yeah,
Is that fair to him or anybody who's been here for any length of time?
And he's been here 2 years, so I give him 50 cents a year, so I give him $1 if you're hiring your new people in it.
That would be $2 if,
No, I'm saying he's been here 2 years, so give him 50 cents for 1 year, 50 cents.
oh, I
for
see
a
what
year.
you're saying. And office manager while you're at it.
Yeah, Mike, on the other hand, is a slouch.
okay, we need to, so building 21. You guys cool with that? Okay. Office manager, 22. You guys cool with that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Any other changes you would like to make?
For elected officials, is that,
After this.
okay, cause I know that's a separate thing, like resolutions and everything like that, okay. I don't think I have a problem with any of the other ones, no.
No, I don't, my only thing is, we put under. Ordinance $500 and nothing under liquor, but really, when I pay that, I pay 50 out of that 500 for liquor.
I don't,
You-
but the
you wanna
ordinance
just leave-
guy always does the liquor.
Oh, okay.
If you hired a new ordinance
Yeah.
guy, he'd have to do the liquor.
Okay. That's just an internal thing, and then I'm.
Yeah, you're right, cause Wayne did both, right? Did Wayne do, no, Wayne
No,
didn't do
Wayne
both,
only did
no, so
liquor.
one time Wayne just did liquor.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, if you're going by history,
Yeah.
we've done it 17
but,
different ways.
but if you wanna do it this way, that's fine, then I'll
Okay.
just keep doing it internally like that, just because we have to use money. Because the state gives us that money for liquor inspections.
A lot of money. Okay, is everybody comfortable with this? Everybody's cool? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal policy sheet for 2024 to 2025, becoming effective.
We're not gonna consider
Oh,
anything else with the way inflation is,
what,
like even board of review people or the planning commission or the ZBA.
They just got that raise like 2 years ago. Nobody else got raises but the Board of Review, Planning and ZBA.
But he
Right.
can have his opinion. Go ahead and
Yeah,
say.
I'm just saying, that's my opinion, but. But I agree with you, inflation is crazy. I think, like our board hasn't gotten a raise in 5 years, and I think I looked up the inflation in 5 years is like 17%. It's something nuts.
But your job doesn't give you a 17% raise.
Pardon me?
Your job doesn't give you a 17% raise because.
Oh, I know that. I'm
That's
not
never
saying
been-
that, but I'm just saying that. Giving people raises seems logical and. Cost of everything.
I don't know, I just feel that the board of review is a thankless job, and in my opinion, is probably the toughest one to get.
Actually, with
Like-
Scott here, their job has been really pretty good because he's on state,
Well, yeah, we haven't had no tax tribunal issues.
they're really, they do such a great job in
So
assessing.
what do you want to do? Bump him a buck or what?
Yeah, at least.
what do you think, 29?
Well, Phoebe, if we're only giving Justin $1,
Yeah, yeah. And this, they don't live off of this, you know,
Yeah.
some people, that's their living too, you know.
I would,
I like $2 an hour for the board of review.
The 29?
Yep.
Everybody good now?
So, well, do you
And-
want to review any of the other
Yeah.
ones that we've already talked about?
Well, we should look at the planning commission and the ZBA too. When you get people committed to that, it's so hard to get people and then the extra training like ZBA.
well, just know that if we raise the wages of ZBA, we have to raise the rate.
No, we don't.
We absolutely, we just barely break even.
There's no documentation in from the MTA that says that your hearings have to balance with your costs.
A lot of townships take $1,000 or a set amount of money. When you go to the ZBA, say, the ones I've researched, you have to give them $1,000. And then all the costs are deducted from that, and then you get the rest of the money back. Because you're now saying, it would be like you saying, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm gonna pay for this, but I'm not paying all of my taxes. They can pick up the bill.
No, why can't it come out of it? If there's cost above the $500 hearing, why can't that amount just come out of the general fund as an expense
Out of
for the year?
everybody's tax dollars. I don't think that's fair to the rest of the residents. You're asking for a favor. When you build a building, you pay the fees that the building permit requires. Your neighbor doesn't have to pay a portion of it. I don't think that's fair. I just don't. I don't care if we wanna give them more money, but I just don't think it's fair to the person who never is going to the ZBA, but is now paying a portion of the cost of somebody else.
Well, it'd be different if we weren't making, when we take,
We say that about other things too, I agree.
when we have money remaining at the end of the year and we stick it in a CD and inflation blows it by because we're chinsing.
I do know that when I called on it, they said, well, we chose to be a zoning community, so it's kind of like the business of being a zoning community that we have to, you know, deal with stuff like that. So it's not really about compensation. It's like, that's just how it, that's part of our job, you know, because we decide to be zoning.
Right, we
you know?
have to do ZBA.
Exactly, because we chose to
And it
be
just
zoning.
costs what it costs.
Yeah,
I'd be against raising the price of the ZBA, you know.
No,
I think it's already intimidating as it is, because we haven't gotten any more after we raised it, so. So, you know,
We did, we had that one.
Like, you didn't
flurry,
do
like
it.
A whole bunch of them.
but then they didn't do it,
I mean,
They didn't-
No, Mike had a whole bunch in.
not for 500 once. They've all been 350. No, they've all been the 350. Yeah.
I had 5 basically going. in.
And they were all the 350s,
Well,
yeah.
a lot of the people that. I think they jump the gun though, they wanna go to the ZBA, and then if they talk to somebody, like if they talk to Tracy and he said, instead of doing that, you could do this, sometimes they can resolve that issue without going to
Yeah,
the ZBA.
but
Well-
still, 500 is a lot, you know, so
And we
I
do-
would second guess.
And we
it.
do try to change the ordinances to,
If there's a lot of the
Accommodate
same
for,
thing.
yeah, if there's
Fix
too
that.
many ZBAs
Yeah,
of a
Which is
certain
what they always
situation.
said, yeah.
Well, do you want to raise them each $2? You know, since that's kind of like what,
what are you thinking, Stan? You have something in your head?
$10 per meeting. So like the planning commission should get it. If they're getting 60 now, they should get 70. At least some kind of compensation to make up for it. I mean, it's people's time. They go to the workshops.
but that's what stinks though, some people don't.
Yeah, I'll
Take
take
stuff
you go to
seriously.
the workshop.
There's some people that, yeah, you
Yeah,
do
and
The ones
deserve
that
it.
don't go, don't get paid.
Yeah, they don't get paid,
Sure.
correct.
So you're looking to do, so like the chairperson, let's kind of go down the line. So chairperson and secretary, what would you like that to be?
Well, those would go to 80 on the planning commission. Those would go to 85.
So you're looking 85, you're looking to do?
It's going $10 on everything. right?
Yeah. 85 on the chairperson, 85 on the secretary, and then the commissioners would get 70.
Oh, so this- We're looking for 70, okay.
And then the township board rep too, 70.
Yeah, that'd be the same.
You're saying for both.
Yeah, for commissioners and
Yeah,
for,
everything
I'm
up
saying for
$10.
ZBA and planning, that's what
Yeah,
I
he's
meant.
saying everything.
so it'd be 85, 85, 70, 70. For the planning commission, it'd be the same thing for the ZBA.
See, at that rate, then I think that the building clerk and the office
Yeah.
manager ought to bump another buck.
I know. I don't think that's fair to them.
Yeah,
If we're gonna do that, I think that we're gonna do the other
so
one.
office 23 and
Sounds good.
building 22,
22 and 23. yeah.
okay.
Well, now you want a job.
Okay,
So 85, 85, 70, 70. 85. 85, 70.
are you good now, Sam? Okay,
Yeah, it's going through, looking. Covered everything else. Everything is contractual.
all right, everybody cool? I'm gonna make a motion. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the proposed fiscal policy sheet with the changes that we just made, effective April 1st, 2024.
April first,
2024.
so we can say April.
That day.
And then, so,
Oh, we need a support. Who's got, Phoebe made the motion.
Oh, I'll support.
and you're gonna spell out these changes in the minutes?
I'll just attach.
Oh, we should sign
We
it,
should
right?
sign
Yeah, we're gonna all
Yeah,
sign this.
yeah.
I usually put a signed copy in with the minutes.
Okay, so you wanna sign by where the changes are,
Each change or?
Last year, you just had a sign at the
just
top of
once,
the page.
okay?
Yeah.
Whatever you think works.
No making changes afterwards.
Yeah. Maybe initial the second page
Oh,
too.
let's vote on it just. in
Oh,
case.
yeah, I know, right?
Okay. That was me, I'm sorry. I
Do
can't-
that,
Yes.
Christine, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Gilman,
No,
and Berenger.
Yes.
Carried.
All right, okay.
So when you sign, you'll just write nay.
Right, sign both. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
You borrow your pen, what pen?
Can't believe that bug is still alive.
I had a mosquito in my house the other day.
Thank you. I killed the whole tree this time, didn't I?
Yeah, I was gonna say that we should limit how big a board pack it's gonna be.
Yeah, 218 pages.
Sorry, you reached the maximum.
I do need a sign copy.
You didn't sign it?
If
No,
you
I
want
mean,
that
I
copy
bought
of
the
it.
Yeah, I'll get you stuff. I go through it the next day and.
Okay, I just
send-
want to put one of those in with our
Send
packs.
stuff out. Okay, so now we're going to consider, we're going to do any elected official salary adjustments. Everybody start talking.
Me first now.
Well, we're giving everybody else raises and with the inflation and we haven't, as a board, gotten a raise in 5 years. I think it's time.
I think it's time. I think that, like speaking for myself, I have 12 years' experience where, you know, that's an important thing. I think that costs have gone way up. I think, the dynamics of my job are different than they used to be.
You taking on stuff that. Like grants and all that good stuff and dealing with the park and,
I know
All that
mine
too.
too with the elections. I've got.
and Angie's load has gotten heavier.
Way more workload.
So, you know, I'm not going to argue about it or anything, you know, whatever you guys decide, you decide. That's speaking for me. How about you, Stan? What do you think?
Yeah, with the inflation deal, one of it's a baby step.
It's the baby step.
What is the baby step? Let's do trustees first.
I say do them all. They're all gonna be the same thing.
You have to do separate ones.
Well,
It'll be the
Separate.
same amount across the board, correct?
we'll do.
Or would it
separate.
be different increases per?
Whatever is decided.
Are we doing a number or a percent or what? Anything? 50%, is that what you said? I like that.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
Just for the supervisor though.
Thank you.
You guys are giving up your 10%.
My husband got a cost of living increase and then the health insurance goes up, so we're money behind, you know, it's like,
Well, the taxpayers are in that same.
Oh,
I don't know, as you said, like 12 years experience, but then like,
Oh, there's an
as I
election.
told, that's what I'm saying.
Tell
Yeah.
there's an
Cause
election.
like my job, I
If somebody comes in
streamlined
and
it,
somebody
you
new,
know,
Then it's somebody with no experience. gets
Exactly.
paid a higher
Would-
salary. So
but-
the salary isn't based on your experience.
But
the
would you
salary is
pay
based
a
on the
new,
position.
would you pay a newly elected official the same?
You don't have a choice.
yeah.
Yes, you
have
do
to.
have a choice.
No, you don't.
Sure you do. In an election year, you can decide that starting the year after that, it's always when a new term starts.
Yeah.
But who would vote on that?
Yeah,
I don't know who. would.
The new supervisor is gonna say, you know, I think I'm making too much money.
he's gonna run based on your
Yeah.
salary.
So if you're justifying it, then justify it and say that, you know, the workload's gone up. Cost of living's gone up, we haven't taken a raise in 5 years, that's great, no problem. But come up with a number.
Okay.
And I think it has to be the same percentage across the board, I don't know how you can change it. Maybe that's, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't know.
I don't know, I kind of feel like we're different than you guys though, because we actually have office, you know, we work in the office, so you know what I mean? I feel like it's definitely different, you know,
I know. I have a lot of responsibilities and I've been reading, there's things I do that I didn't realize were not part of my statutory duties, like doing payroll and the HR stuff and a lot of that, but I've been doing that for the last 10 years. I know Bruce does all that, all those meetings, all the park grant things, he's going to a bunch of stuff that when I first was here, when Pat was here, we didn't even do things like that, and if we did, who would have gone? Nobody. You know, that's how we got all that money for the park. For Bell River Park. And I know you got the taxes, like boom, boom, they're out. I just know that it's. There's more involved than what it looks like on the surface. We look like, oh, there's not that many things, but there's a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things. Things keep changing with the government all the time, more things required of us. Just the thing like Bruce, that real ID thing we have to go through now. I have to register things of my personal life to be able to access things for the township here. I'm using my cell phone to do all this work here at the township because I have to have codes sent to me. My picture has to be taken. I mean, there's a lot of things we do that nobody realizes.
Can I say something?
You can say something.
I work at Addison, okay, so we had 15 guys on our shift 5 years ago. Now we got 5 guys doing the same job. So I get, you know, and a lot of people here are doing the same thing, and a lot of companies are crunching, and there's less labor and there's less people, and we've, you know, I've had to step up for the same pay. And I'm not saying you guys don't deserve a raise at all. I'm not saying that. I know there's inflation. I know there's, everything's went up for everybody. Across the board. But I don't know how realistically you can vote yourself a raise
That's how it is.
when it's the taxpayers, like, you know.
Well, it's uncomfortable.
Like I said,
Well, how else?
I know, and I feel the uncomfortability of giving yourself, hey, you know what? I got an extra this and I have to do extra that, and it's always, you know. You feel uncomfortable because you got a biasy of, you think you deserve this, and I'm not saying you don't. But as a, I guess, as a elected official, it should be elected your rate. That makes
How?
sense. That I don't know, I'm just, I see the uncomfortability watching you guys up here saying, well.
And that's why we even
trying
talked
to-
about it
trying
for
to
5 years.
justify-
Yeah, that's.
Justify patting yourself on the back and giving you, you know,
It's
a
easier.
50, because
You're right, it
you
is.
say I want a 50% raise. Who's gonna say no? If you're gonna give him, her, all 50% raise.
Then you also gotta
Me?
think, it's an.
You know-
Here's who's gonna come in and try to give himself a big raise, who's gonna try and come and take his job.
Well, I don't know, maybe the 8 people that are here, you know, there's,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, how many people,
That might be-
do you go on the minutes? I don't go on the minutes, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't see, what you know, on a month-to-month basis, check up on what's going on. You know, so yeah, a 50% raise can get slipped into a lot of people, but if you ask them to give you a 50% raise, they might say no, right?
For sure. It's very uncomfortable. I always hate to do it. That's why it goes one moment. Year after year that we just say no raises this year because it's uncomfortable to even deal with it. But I mean,
Again, I'm not saying you
can't
don't
just
deserve
go
a
on and
raise
on and
because
on.
There is, yeah, absolutely.
and if you don't speak up for yourself, nobody else is gonna go, hey, you know what? You're doing a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
job. Nobody does that,
Right.
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's easier for us to
So-
give raises to the other people because.
Go ahead, you say what you wanna say.
That's what I was gonna say, I am a pastor on a board of elders, and every year we come up with our budget. And it's very awkward for me because I'm sitting on a board where everybody's deciding what my salary is going to be. I recuse myself, I exit the meeting, allow them to discuss in private what my performance has been and whether I need a raise or whatnot. And then I rejoin the meeting after they have voted, and so I don't know if that.
And I don't blame you. That's probably a comfortable way to do it.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's something we can.
I'm not sure we could legally,
No.
You can't recuse a member. to-
one at a time, leave the room. I don't think you could do that during an open meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably not.
I-
So,
So I'm gonna just throw out a number then and say 16%. Whatever that figures
How
out.
can you do it percentage though? If she's making 20 and you're making 30, now you're getting.
No, we all make the same.
Because that way, everybody would get the same
Raise.
amount of a rate increase. And that's as fair as I could be about it, I think, and that would figure out to a little over 3% a year for the past several years.
And the three of us make the same, and I've checked around with other townships, and there's some townships, everybody gets the same. And like, China Township, they all get the same.
There is not a job in the world that's gonna kick you a 16% raise in 1 year.
I know, but if you get.
That is insanity.
But like, okay, I'm a teacher, I'm on a contracted union. I get a step a year, so why don't you get a step a year? You're an elected official, so if you get a step a year,
Because we did something that was fiscally responsible for the township.
but 3%, if you haven't had a raise. in
This
5 years-
isn't a full-time job, right?
But
Even the other board members that do have office duties, this is not a full-time position. And it was never intended to be a full-time position.
But then again, as Stan, you said, we have that money sitting in the bank. We are not. We're not asking you, the township to sacrifice something. I think we deserve raises. 5 years is a long time to go. Everybody gets a cost of living raise, social security, pensions, teachers. And maybe what we should think about doing is saying that we should review every year what the cost of living is and do a raise to accommodate that or something. And then we would have that in writing, and maybe that would take away the uncomfortable feeling we're all having here right now. But
How much was your last raise? That you guys did?
22%.
Holy.
But we didn't have a raise. since-
for, yeah, for
Yeah, but
many,
you might as
many
well just
years.
say 2% every year, why beat around the bush, cause next year you're gonna waste time sitting there saying. Well, we're gonna give ourselves a 2% this year, you know, damn well you're gonna do it.
Well, we didn't.
No, we
We
haven't
went
for
5
5
years
years.
without a raise
Yeah,
because.
we haven't done a raise for 5 years.
Right, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, she's saying, well, we do like percent. for
No, I'm
every
just saying.
But that's the
You're
thing,
voting
it's
on it
just
every
so
year.
it's not weird, I don't know.
Well, you have to vote on it every year.
Right, but you're gonna vote it in, you need to deny it.
I mean, and.
I don't know.
See where you're. You
I don't
know,
know.
you stay at this pay.
Well, I just threw out a number
You're
to
gonna-
what's
work
acceptable.
yourself To be in.
You guys say what's acceptable. If it's zero, it's zero,
I
whatever.
mean, a cost.
I just,
Oh, here's my next question. How does this work then? We put this out here. You say 16%. What if Phoebe and I agree and they don't? What does that mean? I don't understand how this process, because we haven't done it in so long.
well, I know. I don't wanna, what I'm saying is I don't wanna force it. I want people to be happy with it. I want, you know,
Well, we gave a pretty substantial raises to the board, ZBA.
Not 16%.
But we also raised,
10%.
we also
We also-
raised it a couple years.
Yeah,
ago.
2 years ago, we
Yeah.
raised it because it was 50 and then we raised it to 60. And then the chairs got 75.
Yeah, but they don't get paid per hour, do they? They get paid per meeting.
For meeting.
So. it
There was
doesn't
an
matter.
there was an hour one.
Yeah,
couple
but they
hour
get
one.
paid per meeting.
Yeah. 'cause
Their
they get paid
meetings
per-
aren't that long. The planning commission is usually less than an hour.
Is your salary on this piece of paper we're looking at?
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
On the bright side, the rest of the meeting is gonna go pretty fast.
We're looking at right
I
now,
know what I have.
Excuse me?
we're looking at what you're currently making.
28,200.
Oh, that's.
But it's part-time.
I thought it said 23.55.
And trustees make what?
Trustees make 5178.
How long has it been since you folks have had an increase?
4 or 5 years.
5 years.
What did Mike ask?
He said, how long has it been?
How long has
We
it
did a
been?
raise. I said,
It was 5 years ago.
And before that?
I don't even know.
No, it was
I-
probably,
Did they even do a raise?
no, it was a long, long
Like
time
early
before before they did raise. We,
even this board. We did different people.
Yeah, if I can speak for a second, I see on a day-to-day basis, what they all do, and I can guarantee you, each one of them takes their job seriously. They put 150% in it. And they darn well deserve one. You know, I'm a resident taxpayer, you know, I have not an issue with them receiving a raise. Before I retired, I was in management and I got yearly raises. Okay, anywhere between 3% and 4%. But that was every year we got that. Obviously, if our performance review was, you know, acceptable, that's what we got. And just in viewing their performance that I see, especially the girls, I'm with, work with them every day and I'm in constant contact with Bruce. I don't see any reason why we can't make up at least 3 or 4 years of some sort of a percentage and add that to their pay. It's, they work their cans off, I can tell you that right now. Plus, they're doing other things like Bruce, he's got, his business that he's running. Phoebe has, the farming and all the other same boys in school, there's, Anne's the same way when she brought up, we're. Our social security increase went to pay our plan B, they up that, so, we got nothing there,
Yeah,
so.
but we all have those costs.
Right.
Every single one of us in this room have those
And
costs.
do you get raises at your work?
Do I get raises at
Yeah.
my work? No.
You have a
No, I
job?
haven't taken a raise at my work that I do every single day.
What kind of job do you have?
I have an office job. So, no, I don't, but when times are good, then you get a raise. I'm not saying you guys don't deserve a raise, I just think 16% is too high. I think it's way too high. You don't go, show
But if you
me,
did it over 5 years, that's 3%.
still, it's a part-time job that you guys aren't required. What is your requirement of hours to be here every week?
They haven't.
I thought it was 4 hours a week.
No, none.
No.
So,
Legally, you don't have to come in at all.
Mhm.
Cause you're an elected official. How many hours?
But we
they come
do.
in?
But
That's
But we do come in, yeah, but we do.
I'm not-
That's different.
Our job is done, we do our job,
Yeah.
so.
So what is that?
Yeah.
15 hours a week? 20?
But the
Coming in five-
workload hasn't changed,
Coming
you
in
know what
5
I
days a
mean?
How many hours you guys put up? What's your norm?
Well, now I'm doing 20 because of taxes right now, so
And I'm right
everything will
now.
be slow.
And I'm-
That's what I'm saying, it always, it's for tax seasons, it change, so.
That's what you gotta look at, your average. You can't just say, well, I'm working.
But on the other hand, I don't have somebody working for me, so I'm taking up a second person's job too. So they have a deputy, so it's like, we,
Everything
hard to-
it fluctuates. Sometimes you're busy as can be,
I don't
and then
know.
sometimes it's not as busy, but
I don't
So
know,
an
I
average of
don't,
20 hours a week?
I'm doing more than 20.
I mean, then coming to the meeting, so if you got,
You're here
Yeah, but you get
4 days a
paid
week.
for the meeting.
I was here 5 days
No,
last week.
no.
I'm coming in
No.
earlier every day
No.
because I have so much to do.
No, the meeting pay got cut out a couple of years ago.
So we don't get paid for that, so,
I'm just asking questions. I mean,
yeah.
31.45 an hour doing 20 hours a week.
So throw out
So if,
your acceptable number.
so we're
I said
paying,
10%, I thought was acceptable.
I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
10%, I think it's acceptable.
Get what they're doing, you gotta ask for something, I mean. Have you ever asked for a raise at your job?
No,
Gotta go out and get it.
union
Yeah.
bargains for it.
yeah.
3% a year is acceptable, 3.5 is 15%.
Well, we gave $10 more to the ZBA and the planning commission, that's more than 10%.
Yeah, but that's over 3 months usually for ZBA, they only have a meeting once every 3 months.
That's not necessarily true, it depends on when they
If-
have it, but their meetings are also. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that shouldn't even be,
Compare apples and
Right.
oranges.
we're looking at salaries for
Agreed,
elected officials.
I didn't bring that part up, so.
Yeah,
What about in the middle, like 12?
What's up to you
Is
guys?
that a little bit more comparable? I don't even know how much that would be.
I'm not,
You're not what?
I don't-
yeah, I don't
Be a
know.
little more biased if you guys were federal. I think that you guys are local, I mean, you are trying to do a job.
And it's not like we don't have, we have a lot of money. I think we've all saved money
Yeah.
for the township. We've never been deficit for the.
Because we've been fiscally responsible, we're supposed to pay ourselves more money.
And I'm just, but
How does that make sense?
if you earn the money,
On that meets it.
Okay, if Bruce went out of his way to make sure DTE gave us rebate and went out of his way and gave us a couple $100 more, I mean, there's ways that we do find money that you guys just don't, so I mean, there are ways out
Like
there,
when I got the nonprofit postage. permit,
Exactly.
just
She
mail out
got,
the
she saved the
postage.
township $2,000
Yeah.
just by working for not, and there's ways that we save money. Yeah, exactly.
For the most.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
What's your objection there, Brett?
I personally don't like to raise it all. I just, I don't-
You
We
could
don't
get-
wanna raise.
All right.
I voted no for the last one. So I'll vote no on this one too.
People don't do us.
This is not a job that you're supposed to take. This is your sole source of income. This is a secondary position that you're supposed to do for the township, for the residents. I think making.
I disagree with that because it's my sole income.
I
So,
don't think it's
yeah.
supposed to be.
And there are,
Township-
Because I'm a single
Township
mother taking
government
care of
was
children.
Never
so.
designed for it to be your
Yeah.
sole income. And
But yet
$32,000
you're supposed to
a year to work
balance two
part-time,
jobs with this
but
then.
you never, technically, you never have to come in. That's a
But
lot.
we do though. That's the thing.
You make-
There's townships,
You make $31 an hour?
there's townships where officials don't come in ever. And we do. So it's a little different, So there's people that don't come in and do their, and their deputy does their whole job. So,
You don't know until you ask questions.
exactly. So,
Something.
I know that Bruce's phone line is 20%. And he takes every call, so it's not like he's gonna not answer the phone.
And I'll be honest, I called Bruce, and I called Angie, and they have not been nothing but respectful and helpful every time I called up here.
So maybe we
131.
do a,
Yes.
maybe we
I mean,
do
honestly,
$431 a
little
month.
bit more. Because he does take calls after hours
He
and
takes
stuff
calls
like
after
that.
hours on the weekends, and I mean, I will be honest, he probably doesn't want to talk about cows anymore.
Compared to.
But
Yeah,
he still
so-
takes, he still takes my calls. And you know what, and I'm thankful for it.
well, you guys
So
are comfortable at 12%? We gotta move on. I'm
I know.
getting, like, my mind.
it's like 9:30. We're just gonna.
Again, it doesn't make a difference what time it is. And it
I
doesn't
know,
make a
but
difference
we're
if we
just
have to
gonna
move
talk
on.
About this, we made
What you
this,
should do is you should come to the meeting and you brought this up for the election stuff. Come to the meeting. That's why I voted no on this one. This should have a clear example of, I want to do $2 an hour for this person, and it's going to be this much of a fiscal impact
that
this
we
year.
would discuss it
But
together,
that's
that's
a board
why he did
decision.
it.
Yeah, but it'd be easier as a fiscal impact, because $2 or $3 sounds really high. But when you figure out that they only work X amount of hours and it's this much of money, it's really not that big of an impact.
Well, I could have put,
But that doesn't make a difference right now, but that's what I'm saying. If you want to have this, right, you should have had some ideas on where you wanted to be.
we did.
Because I'm sure everybody knew where you were at. Everybody's already discussed this before we got here. So if you're at 16%,
No, I have not
make the motion.
discussed, I have not discussed this before we got here. Bruce and I talked about, we thought it was time to talk about raises because it's been 5 years and inflation is up.
But I
That's all we
distinctly,
said.
wait, I distinctly remember last time. 5 years ago, that both you and him were mad at me. For putting it on the paper ahead of time, saying, oh,
You can have
guys-
different examples on there.
You said, oh, you guys already figured your own raises out. And I said, I'm not doing that again.
Right, because our salaries are supposed to be voted on individually, should not be part of the fiscal sheet for everybody else on there.
No,
And when that got shoved together, that was an illegal document. That's why I voted no.
Okay, so the point is that I'm not gonna bring to the board what I think everybody's pay should be and then expect you to accept it. I don't think that's right.
I think Bruce should get a higher raise percentage if you're taking calls after hours and not in township hall at all times of the day. And night, weekends. It's different than if you are just here in office hours and only responding to calls in the public while you're in this office. I think that is a different.
Well,
Yes,
but then I'm at home on a Sunday and I get a phone call from a funeral home and I have to come up here and sell a funeral lot. I mean, a cemetery lot. Those things do happen. I mean, the funeral homes have my phone numbers. I don't not answer a phone call.
But
like
that's
that.
also part of doing your position.
Well,
when you took on that position.
but
you
so
knew
is
that.
his answering the calls.
But not 20.
I'm not arguing about this. It's just silly. It's just silly. We all do our job. We do our job to the best of our ability. Bruce goes out of his way to do what he has to do. Phoebe's always here to help people. I try to do the best. I work elections. I do all my other jobs. I try to
hate ask
help
this, but
Justin.
With you guys being up there, does this, if this raise does pass, does this include a Tracy raise?
No,
Okay, thank you.
This is just for you.
No,
right?
just
Yeah.
electric.
So basically, if you guys are all at the same rate, you guys were asking.
They're not at the same rate.
Oh.
well, the three of us
Us
are,
three are,
and those
and
two are.
those two are at a separate, different rate.
That's separate.
So
So you
like
guys are
8%
asking for about
for mine, this is-
$3,500
a year.
Even though 15% sounds totally ridiculous, 15% is only $4,200 for the year.
For the whole board?
No, each
Oh, each.
on their salaries.
If they're at 22,000.
28,200,
28
Oh, 28 too, okay, so.
So when you say it like that, it doesn't
32,430.
sound, it does sound less worse.
430.
So, but I mean, in all reality, so your total yearly budget's 2,973,000. So you're at like 24% of your budget. At the end of the day, right, when you break down those numbers, so and I see both sides, I really do. Kind of, that's why I'm just asking questions, but I mean, at the end of the year, I mean. You know, 0.4% of a budget. Isn't a lot, you know, in my humble opinion. but-
Definitely not gonna fund the war in Ukraine, that's.
Right, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of waste and. I understand there's a lot of things that we don't see that you guys do.
Yeah, there's no way we could quantify our job and make anybody think that it's worth it unless.
You were right alongside us.
Unless you did the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
And said, oh man, I know, but then like he said, everybody thinks they're worth more, so.
It's,
Everybody else too, is go out and try to become an elected official.
I just wondering the checks and balances, you know, vote on your. I think personally, I deserve a raise, but.
I vote myself one every day. I just keep getting told to sell more stuff.
And I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people that do deserve a raise, and honestly, it's up to you out there. Right, well, I asked for a raise, I can go in there with the bill due and say, what I did, I sat at a board meeting until 10 o'clock and probably didn't
You
even get a
could
question.
So where are you at, Stan?
I was in the ballpark of 10%.
And I appreciate Brett's opinion, I don't think that.
Even though it's wrong.
he's- Yeah, but we live in a nation where we try to see eye to eye.
We done 10%, and we, just address it again in a year or two, see what happens. Inflation's gonna go down.
You're very funny.
I
You're very
don't see
funny.
where, yeah, I don't see where. Percent, when you're.
Yeah, you know what?
coming Up to,
I'll make a motion to increase the salaries 15%.
Across the board.
Yeah.
But you already said you were gonna say no.
Well, he meant to
Talk me into it. You're welcome.
You did say it.
It's less than 20,000 is
Done that
the impact.
baby.
and I mean, this one, I think the gentleman was advocating because he just got a raise, so.
So it's all.
Yeah, right.
Every one of them is saying. Same guy, right?
Yes.
They have to set- each one-
$2,290.
Oh, it ain't as bad as I thought.
That's what I said. When you do the
So,
actual math,
we have
it's
to have a
not.
second.
It's not-
We have to do each
So
resolution separately
13 grand
per elected
cover it.
official.
Yeah, so,
At 15%.
so Keelman,
Yeah, I wasn't saying that you guys didn't deserve a raise, I was just saying.
Oh, I will.
How you.
I
you
could
vote
Yeah.
yourself a raise.
No, we've already just.
You know,
voted
you-
it, yeah.
Usually, you know, you can go to the boss, you know.
Exactly.
You Get to the boss, like you're saying.
Yeah,
And ask for a raise and he can tell you yes or no, and you can make the decision whether.
You're looking at it through the rose colored glasses that you haven't asked for.
You're like everybody asking for raises tomorrow.
I did a 2.5 to 3% raise for cost of living, so, you know, that's. Like I said when I started my conversation, but I'm not saying you guys don't deserve a raise.
In here, but again, they're asking for it, and 4% of the budget, that's probably the whole bunch of be, that's.
If somebody second that motion.
I thought we could do separate resolutions
We
for,
are.
Yeah.
oh, okay, I didn't know if we have to
Oh,
do.
okay.
something.
My
Let's
daughter,
figuring each one out.
well, she doesn't teach
Yeah.
anymore, she's an admin, but she's
At
in a
15.
low income
Yeah.
school too, in Hamtramck. So,
I'm close to.
yeah, when you said that, I thought, you're probably not too far.
32, 430.
There's a good quote out there that says fair does not mean equal.
No, I can walk to work.
Okay, is there support?
Oh, I'll support, that's why I asked, but nobody answered me, I said, we have
Oh,
to
6.
do that.
Yeah, this event's every once in a while, but I've seen people literally. And he's got a little ladder and that goes up there. I don't know. Oh, very nice.
14,243 impact.
Okay. Berenger,
Just give another grant.
Yes.
Keelman,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes. And that is for which one?
Every year.
all.
All of them, we'll do the
Okay.
individuals.
You can do them all together.
Well, we're doing separate resolution on each one.
Okay.
But the motion.
But the
that
motion-
Brett made.
Right, Brett made the motion, supported by Berenger every single time.
Right. Okay,
Next time I'm bringing a really hot light. I'm gonna shine
Right.
that at everybody while we're doing.
Walk around and.
I'm just gonna be stuck with me the next one.
Again, if you see the fiscal impact, it's not that big of a deal. If you hear 16%. 16% like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a danger of percentages.
That's why the number makes a
It
bigger
sounds-
difference.
It sounds big, but when you start.
yeah, when you,
Look at
br-
it.
You gotta
when,
zoom out.
yeah, when you
gotta
did,
zoom out.
when you said that, I thought, well, that's.
It's only $14,000 for the year, just do it. Total. Increase.
I'll come here every time you have
14,243.
numbers if you want.
Every.
Well, 5 times a year.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it.
Oh.
I know, right?
So when you do the minutes, you're gonna spell it out for each one. Right?
Yes, sir. I'll try to get them done tomorrow, shoot them over to you, and you can tell me if you want me to change anything.
Okay.
But I do have to be at the county at 8:30, so.
Okay, so motion carried. Let's move on.
That's my direction. 5 years.
All right, next road commission annual meeting is on February 19th, 2024 at 3:30 till 5. If anybody's interested in going,
I have a question.
and anybody can go. I mean,
February
19th,
19th,
February
That's
19th,
3:30 to 5.
3:30 to 5.
3:30 to 5.
They're working on President's Day?
We don't have a president.
Well. Yeah, but George Washington's Abraham Lincoln did that. Counties, I know the county's closed. A lot
So
of
with
places
this
are-
$180,000 in ARPA money that they're gonna throw into the match fund,
We have to use that at all road commissions.
how in the hell are they gonna keep up with that workload when they couldn't do anything last year?
That's
Yeah.
a good question.
And then every township has a ton of money that they're gonna get them to go do. What are they gonna do? Hire any more people?
Well, over 2 years, we have to use it.
Yeah.
So
But that's like our yearly spend.
I know.
The other ones don't spend that much. There's no way they're gonna keep.
But we have to.
So we can see a lot of more improvements.
Well, here's
We
the
got a
thing.
ton.
Well, we got 3 culverts I want.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we had those 3 culverts that were in bad
If
shape.
they know that another million and a half
That
out
was just
there, are
an
they gonna
FYI,
purchase
right?
more equipment and hire a guy or two?
I'd like to think so, but I wouldn't.
I hope-
count on it.
Can you sub it out? Or it's gotta be thrown?
So
Gotta
that
be
was
the county.
FYI.
Gave it,
Anybody that wants
he gave it
go
to his
that
own
meeting.
place, here,
All right,
I'm gonna
next.
give it to you guys.
CBA bylaws, there's a, kind of a little bit of a lot to this. So here's the one thing, is first off, the ZBA went and, had these bylaws made. Okay, Diane Cooper is in the wings and, she may want to say something here, but long and short of it is, do you guys, have you read it through?
I have.
Are you comfortable?
No, I am
Hold
not.
on, let me finish
Okay.
saying it. Are you comfortable with what it says? Do you want me to have the attorney to review it first before we
Yes.
vote?
Yes.
I was gonna ask you that,
Can
yeah.
I just bring up a couple things that I noted in here?
Yeah.
It says here, a zoning board of appeals member may be removed by legislative body. Catherine from MTA said. In a
We're the
town-
legislative
yeah,
body.
in a township, this is the township board. And then it also here that they have to take minutes and give the minutes to me, which I haven't been getting, except when Mike gives them to me. And,
Well, but that's the procedure. Is
well, here it says here,
they go to him and then he makes sure that.
and
they go
it
to
says that the
right
bylaws, it's an option, they're not legally binding.
Right, it's just guidelines.
It's guidelines, and they have to come to a decision. They can't.
Or, yeah, that's
Yeah.
part of what I'm gonna talk about that.
But here's the one thing I was kind of questioning. It says here. Wait, I put a check mark by it, so.
He's come from
Here.
MBA.
In here, each member shall be notified of the
Yes.
place and date
Yeah,
by the
you got
clerk.
one from the attorney too? Or did I just use that one myself? 'Cause Cooper was writing back and forth to MCA.
I got some,
She's
that,
got-
we didn't have it all.
They've got here, all the members shall serve with compensation. So that's if you come to a meeting.
We already paid.
Yeah, but in one of these things, it said, she said you could pay them even if they
You
don't.
can.
Yeah, okay,
See,
I don't think
When
that's,
Catherine writes, you
I
have
know.
to be careful, is she talking MCL or is
Oh, I
she
know.
talking you can?
yeah, but here's.
Whenever she says you can, that's her opinion.
Well, here's the one section that I'm uncomfortable with, because it says the absence of a member from 2 consecutively scheduled meetings without the recorded consent of the chairperson shall be construed as a resignation from the ZBA. And then another one here, it says absence of a member from 3 regular meetings during a calendar year shall be construed as resignation from the ZBA.
Because those are not, the 3 that you're talking about are not back to back.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
But
how
the
can
2
you?
are back to back.
Why can you say then that's a resignation when earlier it said we as a township board have to remove those people?
Because aren't you glad I read this? Because if that happens and he gets kicked off for not showing up, then he can appeal to our board.
So that's the.
And our board can say, no, go back, you can still serve.
I-
Or we could say, you know what?
But it doesn't say that
Yeah, it
though.
doesn't, yeah.
No,
exactly.
because we're the board that removes them.
But
Okay.
by this, it's saying that by them not showing up, they're automatically
It's just that they're out,
being
yeah.
resigned. Like, okay.
And is that a bylaw thing in there?
It's
Yeah.
part of her
Yeah,
section
section
4.
4. If he's on the ZBA and he doesn't come for 2 meetings, you're just assuming he's resigned from that position. But if we as a board have to be the people to remove them, and we read,
Right.
you have to have a public hearing.
Right now,
for that.
now listen to the part that Angie just said a minute ago. This is not a legally binding document.
Okay, but I don't wanna, I feel like I don't wanna accept something like this and then have it come back to haunt us.
All right, where does it say that? Tell me where
On
it says.
page 5,
Section
section
4.
4.
Yeah.
Section 4.
I understand her concern about
Section
having
4, where in section 4?
section 4.
Officers.
Abs,
No.
no, you're on the
no.
wrong page 5. There must be 2 page 5s or something.
Oh, no, I was doing the
Yeah, you're on
article.
the other
I was
thing,
doing
fine.
article, not
Yeah.
section.
Section.
All right, so it's, what article is it of section 4 of?
Are you on the right page? Look at this.
There's all kind of section. fours.
Article 5, meeting.
Article 5, okay.
Yeah.
Section 4. Okay, so. I will note that, and
Okay,
so if you guys want me to send it to the attorney,
I think that would. be
I will
good.
do that, and
Yeah.
I will note that part.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And then you had a problem with section 3 too, right? Right above it.
About being notified by the clerk, but we're actually, Mike's been doing the packet. So I don't know if that's just technicality, it doesn't really matter. But I'm not the one, he's doing the notice,
Okay.
he's doing the packet.
So I'm guessing they got this whole thing from the MTA.
No, they got.
They didn't.
Beginning
So-
part is
It's
from the
pulled from another
MTA,
township.
the other part is
Yeah.
just from another township,
Matt
okay.
Brand,
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how they changed it,
Okay,
cause I had several different copies of it
I
over
understand.
the time they were considering. it.
Yeah, and I understand Diane's concern about having people show up, because I know it's been.
Okay, so we're good with your questions?
Yeah.
I have one more thing. I think for the minutes, they should specify when the minutes should be available. Because by law,
They have to be done within 8 days.
exactly, but are they?
Are they done within 8 days? I don't.
And that's the thing, so it should be specified in there, so people are aware that it needs.
Well, and the
You know.
problem with the ZBA.
And what part is that?
Section 10 minutes, it's page
10.
7, page 7.
And the,
Yeah,
and the
just at the
thing,
very
the
bottom.
thing you wanna know about the minutes that need to be done, because they have to have a decision. If somebody's turned down, they need to have that decision in those minutes so they can go to circuit court, and they have to file with the circuit court in a real short time frame.
Yep.
So you have to
You
not.
have to
make
have
it
that
hard for
available,
them,
yeah,
Cause we've had a couple people go to circuit court.
All right, so 8 days.
yeah, that was the only thing, and then Angie's stuff, that's all I had,
All right, so now you're good?
Mhm.
All right, so. We'll vote to send this on to the attorney.
Okay, I'll make a
Okay.
motion to,
Wait, let's do that.
can it
right.
come back to us after the
Yeah,
attorney?
we'll come
Okay,
back,
okay.
okay, I make a motion to send the bylaw draft papers to have the attorney look at.
Send for attorney review. Okay. Second,
I'll support.
all right, Christie, yes. Dudek,
yes,
Berenger,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Duncan.
Yes,
Okay, so I'll send it out for review and we'll bring it back to vote on after he's made any corrections. So, now, there's been. Diane's been pretty upset about, worried about the resident getting their due about a correct vote. So, Catherine kind of beat around the bush with this tie. If somebody doesn't come and there's a tie vote. So I finally got the straight answer from our attorney. And the straight answer is in ZBA, because it's a judicial board and because somebody paid to have that meeting, you have to come to a decision.
Okay.
It has to be a yes or a no. And so if there is a tie, then they just got to keep coming back and having another meeting until they can make that decision.
They have to,
Or they can recall, like they could sit there and say, okay, can we convince anybody anyway to change their vote? You know, because we've done that
with the
ourselves at
minutes.
this point, right?
It's your turn.
the only,
And maybe somebody just needs a little more information to vote, or maybe whatever, maybe they have changed their mind and vote the other way, but it has to be an up or down vote. With that board, with the other boards, the planning commission and this board. It doesn't automatically die if it's a tie vote. it becomes tabled indefinitely.
Oh,
So you don't ever have to bring that issue up again, and you can just say it didn't pass.
okay.
All right, or you can bring it up another time and hope you got support to get it to pass. If it's something you really care about. But as a judicial board, their board requires an up or down.
Okay, can I ask two questions? One, if they don't make a decision and they decide to have another meeting, are they getting paid for a second meeting?
No,
Okay. Number two, I've noticed when I've gone,
that's part of their
okay,
doing their due diligence.
I just want it on record.
All right,
Yeah.
because they can't sit there and say, nobody will take the minutes, which is happening right now with
I
them.
know.
They're saying nobody will take the minutes. Nobody wants to be the secretary. Nobody wants to make a decision. Nobody wants to be
Well,
there,
then I'm wondering
whatever.
why we put them.
Well, the thing is, you know, grow up and do your job.
Yeah, well, and my next question, what's not really a question, but when I've gone to the ZBA, I feel like, and you know this, Stan. Sometimes I feel like the board members are playing, let's make a deal. Well, we'll let you do this instead of this, or how about you do this? And technically, that's not what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be yes, or it's supposed to be no. You're not supposed to negotiate.
Right, that's a whole nother issue,
Yeah.
because honestly, their job is to act as a judge, as a panel of judges. Because it's a judicial board.
Right.
They act as a panel of judges, and it's just like a small claims court or a traffic court, where the person comes up here and states their case. And they either believe them or they don't, or they see their point or they don't, but they should discuss that and come to a conclusion and vote. They should not sit here for a half hour and try to figure out how they can get this guy to get it.
Yeah, move it here or move it there.
Right, it's
right.
It's not up to that board to help them make a decision. It's up to them board to say, did he prove his case or not? You proved it, okay, we all vote yes. Did you not prove it? See ya. I mean, really, that's their job,
Right.
but you don't help them find a way to get around it. And so some of them have that feeling that they feel bad for the guy. Well, I get it. You feel bad for the guy, but you just don't give it to him.
I'm
just
sorry,
how.
I'm laughing because I've heard Diane say, well, that's very nice. I feel sorry for you, but.
So. The other thing is. The board asked me in light of, not having a secretary and, there being a couple meetings, last year where they had, only 4 on the board. So they want me to come back and ask you guys again. Can one of the alternates take turns coming to the meeting and get paid and do the minutes?
Do the alternates want to?
Well,
I
here's
didn't
the
think
thing,
Paul
Paul's
wanted
one of the
us.
alternates. Paul doesn't do minutes. That's why I used to do the minutes for Paul.
I know that.
And I'm sorry,
So that's one
you're
down,
5
you
people
know.
on that board and one of them that it's basically it's a cut and paste type thing. You got it on your, it's on your computer. You just change dates and it's like to do the minutes for the ZBA would
And
probably
it's
take
one
a half an
discussion
hour
item,
tops.
yeah.
I don't disagree. I go to those meetings. I don't even have to, but I go to those meetings. I open the hall, I tape it for them. I give them the tape. I don't see why
And
they
is that,
can't.
is that another expense? We're gonna have to pay somebody to do that because they're not gonna do it for free.
That's exactly what I just said. They want the alternate to
Right.
get paid to be there. And get paid for mileage for going and checking out stuff just in case.
So then every time they have one, I gotta remember who did the minutes, so I know who to get the extra pay to. I personally,
Well, I think it would be Martha every time because Paul ain't gonna
there's
do
no way
minutes.
Paul's gonna do it. Is there any chance and I don't know if this is something we could do, is there any way you could change one of the board members and make them an alternate and make Martha a regular if she wanted to continue to stay as the secretary?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Like if you have, say Stan is the example, could you make Stan the alternate and make Martha the regular? Can you do that once you appoint those people? like-
No, I don't know. But then what good would that do?
Because if she would be willing to be the secretary, then you have a secretary on the board. You wouldn't have to pay.
I don't
a
feel like
sixth
she is
person.
willing to be the secretary.
Are you on that board?
Yeah, I am. And I'm not sure she's willing to be secretary.
Well, I don't know either.
Yeah,
Well, then we have two alternates that don't want to be
Yeah.
secretary, so it's, you know, not. I don't
You
know.
don't want to be the secretary?
nope.
Well, my opinion is they should do their own business. But
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think? You're on the board too.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be because it's so important how the minutes are wrote. That, to me, it should be somebody unbiased. Appoint a recording secretary.
And someone that
The
really
minutes.
knows, that's been around for a while, in my opinion.
I used to do the minutes all the time, and it wasn't so much the minutes as that form that you fill out that has to be signed by the chairperson that says, we approved it, and this is the reason, you know, there's that in the body,
Right, right.
where you put.
see,
that's
they
the
don't
important
meet
piece.
often enough to be very good at what they're
Right.
doing.
I'll be honest, I'm on it. Once every 3 months, like. I don't know. It's hard.
It would take a lot of self-schooling to get,
Exactly.
to be a good board member.
I don't know.
But I don't know how to solve the issue.
Cause I know it said in there too they said you could possibly bring it to your attorney too, like after the minutes are done.
But
to-
then that'll,
And that would be an
I'm
expense.
saying then that's gonna cost us more money.
Sure don't want to have the attorney writing minutes.
Yeah, yep, no, I agree. I'm just, you know, just saying it's that.
Being that you come to all the meetings. Why don't we appoint you the recording secretary for it
So,
and compensate you for writing them?
so when I did it and you guys compensated me, you guys got mad because you didn't want to pay me to be the recording secretary. You guys said it should be somebody on the board. So I just laugh how things change.
I didn't volunteer.
I'm not saying that to you, Bruce. I'm not saying that to you. I'm just kind of laughing about it because when I was doing it, you were like, no, we don't want you doing them.
I mean, you do come and you do all the recordings, so might as well get paid.
Yeah, what?
No,
Then what's he gonna be the alternative then? The alternate?
no,
No, she would
No,
just
can't
be
be.
he's just the recording.
just
secretary.
recording.
Yeah, he can't
secretary.
be an alternate. He can't be on that board because Stan is.
Excuse
And
me?
you can only have one board member on that.
Well, he's more or less the recording secretary and the board of review too, right?
You get a secretary.
No, I think Elaine does that in the board of review.
I'm legally the.
Oh, legally you are, but yeah, Elaine doesn't. Well, I think really Christine does it because she's so efficient.
Yeah. What do you think, Angie? Would you be interested in that
What do you need?
or no?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
No, but would you be interested in being the recording secretary as Stan asked?
Oh, I didn't hear him ask me. I thought he wanted Bruce to.
I thought he wanted, didn't you
He
ask?
wanted
Angie?
Bruce to do it.
Did you? ask-
No, he comes and.
Oh, you
opens the
remember
hall
Bruce?
up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not.
He just can't and records it. He comes on, I'll say this, he does come to all the meetings.
I think we need to, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about any of it. I think we need to think about this and I really, maybe we should ask Martha and then maybe we should check into flipping somebody from alternate to regular. If
I
we
mean,
can-
it would
if
solve
it's
both
doable. It would
problems,
solve
you
both
know.
problems, yeah. We don't have anything coming up, so we have.
No, we're not in a hurry to make a
Yeah,
decision.
so we can think about it.
They got nothing coming up.
I know. Tracy told that guy on Gratiot he had to go to the ZBA and he came in December and got the papers from Mike, but he never did anything
In
about it.
fact, I'll ask the attorney his opinion on that
Okay.
too when I give it to him.
Okay,
Okay, so you just want to move on or table or, I mean, do we table it really?
Well, there's nothing else here to
Okay.
vote on. Right?
yeah, no, we
I
just.
mean, the issue was
We'll,
having
we'll
him.
vote on everything after the attorney reviews it and see if we can resolve the recording secretary.
Yes,
Okay,
I mean, because we have to solve the issue.
Right.
yep, yep. Okay.
Everybody on the board should write one sentence of it. How about that?
Paragraph, one paragraph.
Say something, Diane.
Bruce,
I hear you.
may I speak?
Turn your volume up.
Pardon me?
There you go. Go ahead.
Were we going to talk about? I didn't know we were talking about switching an alternate. About having the alternate attend the board meeting
Yep, we brought that up.
with pay and mileage. You were talking about her being a secretary or
I
something.
brought it up. I brought it up that they would have to do the minutes too, yes.
They would step up to the board in case of there only being 4 on the board for that hearing,
Yep,
so that there would no longer be a problem with a tie. Am I right?
correct. But there wouldn't be a problem with the tie anyhow, if you guys just made a decision.
But in order to prevent to prevent a
To
tie,
prevent the eventuality of it, yes, we did discuss that. And there was no decision made at this time.
okay, because if we don't have somebody there to keep 5 on the board for a decision, that kind of prevents the applicant from getting a fair hearing on his board. And I do recall
We
in the
crossed that
past,
when
we did have a tie and we did say no. And so anybody looking backwards could find something, and if we don't get this straightened out, I can see trouble up the way.
we already straightened it out. I made it perfectly clear that you guys have to come to a decision one way, yes or no, up or down. And I made sure that everybody knows that. So it can't happen.
Do you
So-
recall when you voted
Go ahead.
no against the minutes and you went on for 2 meetings before it was settled?
Yep,
And in order to prevent that, if you have 5 on the board, you do not get a tie. No jury always has a odd number.
She must not have heard that.
I know that. We went over that whole thing.
Okay.
We did. I swear we did.
Okay, I appreciate all of your input.
Okay. We're gonna revisit this after the lawyer looks into it.
She must have had her volume down. She must not have heard all that.
You sat there?
She stopped. She's.
All right. All right, moving on. Duct cleaning. So apparently our ducts have
More gunk than.
20, 40 years worth of stuff in them and they've never been cleaned.
Oh my
And-
gosh.
And so when the heater comes on, sometimes it blows out stuff.
Legionnaire's disease.
Yeah. So it costs $1,450, but you get a $50 discount. So would you be interested in cleaning the ducts?
I'll make a motion to approve the duct cleaning. For $1,400.
It's never been done.
No,
Right.
No, every time it goes on, Mike coughs.
actually, Mike put a
on
thing
point,
over
like,
his vent so that.
Every time.
Is there a second? on that?
I'll second it.
Get used to it after 3 years.
He has a smoker's cough now, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carried.
Brendan, yeah.
All right, Rutrow. I don't have the grass cutting contract.
Oh, here it is.
Well, maybe it's mixed
$78.
with this.
Stafford.
Yeah,
Maybe it's mixed with this.
It is.
Do we have time on this?
We can wait till next month, but, it's here. Do you wanna wait? Want me to get another, price from somebody else?
Good luck.
You cut grass?
No,
If you got somebody, I think they've done a great job.
I think they've
actually, I do
been,
got somebody.
huh?
I do actually have somebody.
Actually, Mike, you got a price last year from somebody else, but they were more expensive.
B&E, but they were
Lot more
extremely
staff.
expensive. I think these guys have been doing all right.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's have it on here.
I'm gonna make a motion to
Gee.
approve the grass cutting.
Because there's no reason to change. They've
Yeah.
been doing
I
fine.
bought it or something, then you lost it. Went back to staff.
I'll have to look up the old contract to write the stuff we write on there about every other week and all that.
Oh, right, okay. And then you'll give me a copy
Yeah,
once you sign it. Anybody?
I would start doing a little more weed whacking down around that ditch.
I did. I made them go all the way over to the lot line last time. That they were in doing a little less, little less, little less. And then I said, hey, it's like 10 feet off. Cut it back to the edge.
He does have on your west side along the front monthly for the cemetery,
Yeah.
but then you have them stop and do every other week, I think in August.
Is there support on this?
I didn't get one.
I'll second.
All right, Christie, yes. Do that.
No,
Gilman.
No,
Duncan.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
Berenger.
Yes.
So you did want me to find somebody else? Is that it?
no, just to get rates at least,
yeah,
Huh?
it should be bid out.
just rates. I don't know if you're gonna get anybody, but worth a shot.
That's the thing. It's just like, nobody wants to do
He
it.
does a good job.
Okay.
I wouldn't complain either way.
All right, cause I'm trying to get everybody on the same page as best I can.
Did you say yes, Bruce?
I did.
Okay.
All right, the next thing is single lot assessments. This is, our attorney thinks that our ordinance is lacking and that we need this. So the first section is all you need to read to see what it's about. And that basically what it's saying is that if we incur an expense, we can assess it to somebody's property. And our ordinance doesn't specifically say that.
Oh, so you mean if we had to like demolish a house, then is that the type?
Yeah,
of
Or you have to clean up all the cars out of their yard.
Okay.
Really? Okay,
Okay.
so do we need to have a court thing too? You know, cause before we've had court decisions to have that, you know,
You still do,
we still do.
but it has to be in your ordinance that you're allowed to do that.
In the
And then,
fifth thing,
and then
okay.
he would take this and the bill and he'd go to the court and file it. And then they get to do it from there.
Okay,
Okay.
In fact,
So
when I brought up the
Big hand.
Big Hand Road one, he said, oh, you better get this passed pretty soon or you're gonna have a problem.
So this is gonna be
crazy that it's
ordinance.
this long to, you know, it's like,
so this is a regular motion you're passing this, or how do you?
And we have to do, I see we have to do it as an ordinance, so
It's-
shouldn't Joe write this into the ordinance book?
It's an addition to the ordinance. And the attorney told me.
This
that-
has to be published in the paper then.
Yeah, it says right here, you gotta
Yeah,
publish it.
Yep.
so my question to you is, are we publishing it, or are we going to give this to Joe, who really doesn't have a whole lot of work from us that maybe he could
You should do something, yeah. That's a
do
good idea.
it?
Well, you're the clerk, so if that's the
Well, I just,
correct procedure,
it is,
Then-
because he's the one in charge of the ordinances, and he should publish it in the paper, and I'm sorry for what we pay him, I feel
Yeah.
like he could do a
So-
little bit,
Need a motion to approve this one?
yes,
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
and it's gonna be ordinance. I don't know what the ordinance number is gonna be, Joe will have to put that
We'll
in.
just call it single lot assessment.
it's going to be, it's,
Okay, we'll just make a motion to approve ordinance the single lot assessment ordinance. Does Joe have a copy of this or should I send it to him tomorrow? I'll send it to him tomorrow.
I'm gonna have to contact the attorney with this and see where his thing is. Maybe he wants to give it to Joe. I don't even
That's
know.
fine. Okay, just let me
Because
know.
he's the one that handed it to me.
Okay,
And then he told me, I said, don't, the planning commission gotta look at this first? And he said, nope, this is just adding in. And I said, okay. And then when he came for his meeting on Friday to sit down and talk, he said, I looked into it and yeah, you guys can just pass this at your meeting.
okay. So
So
just let me know what you
I'll at
find
least
out.
touch base with him and see what he thinks the plan is. You might be absolutely right.
Okay.
All right, Duncan,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Gilman?
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes,
you that?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the last one. This one's easy peasy. If you read this letter, there's an opioid settlement. It's just a class action suit settlement. It's like 30 pages written on both sides of legalese. And he just says that we should sign it and send it back in. And then we'll probably get a check for 79 cents or something.
and I'll get a copy.
And so I just need a board approval for me to sign it and send it back in.
I'll make a motion for Bruce to sign that class action. The opioid with opioid class action.
I'll second.
Hey, Keelman,
Yes.
Hudak,
Yes.
yes, Duncan?
Yep.
Berenger?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Nothing else?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but
Mike finally got somebody to come tomorrow morning to go look at the basement that's flooding.
oh yeah, I set that
So
up.
can we just make a motion maybe to approve, letting you make the decision if it's over to get the work started? It's because we
just
talked
going
about
down
it
the
a month
road,
ago that that
Hey,
water
but
was
it could
there.
be thousands.
Yeah, but I think if gives us a price and we have to wait until the March meeting and the rain comes and the snow, I mean, it's getting pretty nasty down there.
Yeah.
I'll go with whatever you want to do.
I mean,
I mean, if it has to get done, it has to get
Yeah.
done too, you know.
It's not like we can say, no, we don't want to spend the money to get the basement to stop being underwater.
I just know it could be pretty costly if they have to like dig around the whole outside and reseal it
I
and all that.
understand that, but that water's been sitting in the basement for what, 2 months, at least 2 months? I mean,
Why, what happened? Did the sump pump die or something?
we don't know.
It's just coming,
We
it's
think
just leaking in.
Yeah.
The ground
Like, there's much
saturated.
water in there.
It's coming up through the two sewers now.
Yeah.
Because the ground
We
saturated.
tried to broom it to the sump. And as soon as we got it off the sewers and towards the sump. And it activated the sump, it came back up through it was just a constant, we were pumping it into the sump and it was pumping it wherever it goes and, and then it was just. Constantly coming back out, there's gotta be just a
And
ton
Mike-
of water on it.
Mike, did you say it was in the crawl space now?
Felt like that covered.
It was,
Did you see water in the crawl space?
No.
Pushing it right back in. Right.
The drains, the pipe out there is buried some places what it comes down to.
That's what I was thinking, maybe that
Right out
drain
back here.
pipe.
Well, I mean, maybe the,
Right, you meant for like probably Bruce defamation, probably about like 35,000.
cool.
You might pick that from my shelf and we'll handle it.
How about, can we say, we'll approve up to a certain amount?
I mean, I'm okay with whatever you want. I don't want to take it personal.
Okay, you wanna make it?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We approve Bruce to approve up to $3,000 enough. That way, if it's something easy, we can just do it.
If it's something easy, yeah.
Okay,
I'll do that.
But I mean, if they want
Yeah, well, that's
$30,000 or something,
then yeah, definitely, yeah.
I would feel weird making that.
Yeah.
I'll support. What do you think, 2,000?
He said 3,000.
That's what I.
Yep,
put.
yep.
And then he threw me off when he said 30,000.
I know, right?
Did he say 3 or did he say 30?
Is that your motion, Brett?
Yes.
We have a second on that?
I did.
Thank you guys for your time.
Who burns her?
Yeah, Angie did.
I'll talk to you.
All right.
Okay. Gilman,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Christie, yes, Duncan.
Yes.
Burns, yes. Okay, motion to adjourn.
I can go.
You got one more
Has
question?
anybody else been contacted by High Tech?
Personally at home?
Yeah, like personally.
No.
You were contacted?
About what?
Apparently he's upset with us about something. Something that happened at one of
Ask
the
Bruce,
meetings.
maybe, I haven't even talked to them.
Oh, he talked to me.
I said maybe Bruce.
He wants to have a private meeting, not on public record.
What?
What?
That's really weird.
No. He was in here
I had no
with his
idea what that
roofer
was.
guy like a week or so ago. He gave me the lecture about how he wants to move the server and that other stuff should go up on a shelf and I said, no, I know. And that's the only conversation I had with him.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Good luck.
yikes. Are you having that meeting?
Okay.
He can write a letter or he can come up here.
I was contacted too.
Oh,
We were.
really?
Yes.
So weird. I feel
Really?
like left out
Some-
now.
somebody-
Well, I don't know why
Oh.
you guys weren't.
Somebody sent him a recording of the meeting.
Weird.
Somebody sent him a recording.
Recording of the meeting where we were discussing him giving us crazy quotes. But apparently.
Weird. I have
He only
just
singled
out of the
out 3 of them.
blue.
Wow,
Go figure.
he contacted me.
That's so weird.
Honestly, you guys were saying stuff too.
I know.
It was a unanimous vote, I'm just
That's
saying.
all right.
No,
We just point at Brett like.
Totally.
Goes off now. That's weird. That's
Well,
so
Right,
weird.
that's all it was.
I don't know if he.
It's almost
should we
like
feel-
Facebook. If you
should
say
we feel
something
hurt?
wrong.
I know, right? Yeah.
Should we feel hurt or we die?
I know, right? Off the hook. That's really weird.
That's all I got. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And how did you get your phone number too, you
That
know?
I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
another
that's-
thing.
You call yourself?
Yeah.
That's
Wow,
really
how do you
weird.
have-
When I thought he was calling about the computer, my email wasn't working.
Oh, right.
And then as he's talking, I'm like,
This is
what is this
about
in
the-
regards to? And he's like, oh, well, you guys had a meeting, you discussed the high tech and I want to know, why you would disparage me and I want to review it with you. I'm like, oh, yeah, no.
Wow.
Well, then if anybody second the?
No, nobody.
So who made
I
the
will.
first?
Brett.
Brett.
Brett and I just seconded.
Okay.
Okay, so now say all ayes,
I-
because I want to say awesome.
You're waiting to get off the record?
Turn the computer off. Yeah, right.
Say it off the record
No,
now.
Angie wants to get a call. She